thank heavens. I think we lost him. Fitzbottoms. Wait, I'm Fitzbottoms. You're Fuzzy Bottoms. That's right. Very good. All right, so where were we? No, I've lost it. What was it? Welcome to the town of Belhaim, and here the dragon slayers come. Doodly. No, that's not right. That isn't what it is. Oi! Fitzbottom! I see you! Oh dear. It's not me! It's Fuzzy Bottom! Oh, I can see you over there! Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna get you, Fitzbottoms! I will get you if it's the last thing I do! All right, and welcome everyone to Session 2 of Dragon's Demand, a Pathfinder 1st Edition actual play run by myself and 5 of my friends who are... It's an interesting, eclectic group of people, I gotta tell you. Some of the conversations that happened before session a lot of bone talk. It's weird. A lot of bones being discussed. I'm looking at you, Zeb. All right. And a lot of discussions about certain literary characters from the past, from a certain Matthew. But I digress. With that being said, let's go around the table, introduce our characters, and then we will dive right in to where we left off last session in this creepy dungeon. But let's start with Blau, go to Zeb, Matthew, Atomic, and Aaron, and then we'll round it out with me introducing myself for a second time, because I like to hear myself talk. So Blau, take it away.
Hi there, I'm Blau. I'm playing Epicus Adrashan, the wizard, who knows maybe a little bit too much, in more than one sense.
I'm Zeb. I'm playing Gris Hrutson. I'm a ranger, and I'm completely out of my element in this underground tower.
Very good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew. I play the half-elf cleric Lucas Illica, who is a devotee of Milani.
Everybody, I'm Tommy. I'm playing Kalgadir, and I'm gonna smash.
And I'm Aaron. I'm playing Rikasval, the half-orc fighter, who's recently been in his first fight and did not terrible.
Actually, they did a pretty good job, all things considered. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, with that being said, I'm also Darren Wolf, the Game Master, and I'll be running this shit show, so let's get after it. But when we last left off, our intrepid adventurers, you all had made your way to the town of Belhaim. And upon arriving in the town of Belhaim, the guy that had hired you, this caravan leader, was promptly arrested for tax evasion and a number of other crimes. Through some, I would say some sympathy by one of the local tavern owners, you actually were given some food, a little bit of rest, a gal by the name of Talia. And during this meal that was provided to her, you were sitting around, everything's maybe going well, and there was a loud explosion kind of crumbling outside. The walls shook as though a massive earthquake had happened. As you investigated it, you found that this local tower had fallen, and the mayor herself asked you to investigate the caverns below, where you discovered some, I guess, insects of unusual size would be the phrase, and defeated them quite nicely. I think very little damage was taken. And there was also some weird clattering, maybe some haunts of some kind. It definitely seems to be haunted. But when we last left you off, the actual moment, there were 2 kobold voices speaking in Draconic that had been calling out somewhere deeper inside of this dungeon, and we open that scene with you all standing around the corpses of these centipedes, as well as that single kobold, the body you had found, and I leave the scene to you all.
Well, should we head deeper in? Epicus would ask in a very low voice, not wanting to alert the kobolds like they had done to him.
Well, they mentioned a wizard, didn't they? GM, was I remembering that correctly? They said, "What are we going to do with the wizard?" I think in the last
That
session.
is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us can actually speak Draconic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right too.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought somebody could. I thought Blau could.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So Epicus can speak
You
it.
translate.
So then,
Okay. Let's catch our breath for a second.
Yeah, I think he mentioned that he thinks they have the wizard.
right.
All right.
So we have tracks that have the man's names on his boots, and it's the wizard's tracks. We haven't found her husband. I believe that we know it's a haunt here. There are big bugs Is there anything else I'm missing?
No, I think that just about sums it up.
Seems right to me.
Well, although her husband's dead, we're all in agreement about that, right?
Fairly confident, yes.
Good. Okay.
Almost assuredly.
I'd give it 80-20.
Unless he's
Four.
been down here eating bugs for 6 months.
It's a lot of bugs.
Be surprised what you can eat when you have to.
I've eaten bugs out on the woods. You can eat bugs. I don't know if you can eat bugs this big, but you can eat bugs.
Well,
I
not with
think
that attitude.
it's more the poison, I think, that would render it impossible to consume.
Well,
these
don't you
insects,
don't
but-
you just eat around the poison?
Yes,
Hello.
generally you remove the
Do you
poison.
hear that? I think I hear log shakes. Nakare, I do not hear them. You are hearing things again. It is likely the ghost. No, Nakare, I hear them. They are coming from the entrance.
And you hear these kobolds, Epicus, discussing amongst themselves from somewhere. Now, remind me, I believe you had opened the door? I believe you had. If
Yes.
not, you had. You hear it echoing up from the hallway. So as you look into this next passageway, you would see that it looks to be a prison quarter of some ground. Straw is strewn across the floor of this large... excuse me. Wrong section. My bad. Oh, boy. Best GM ever. All right, so...
Spoiler.
Spoiler
Scuff.
alert.
There's
The
straw.
straw.
Straw exists.
Straw exists in its place. So you would hear there are numerous jail cells that line these long abandoned corridors. Each of their solid iron doors hangs ajar and includes both a peephole at eye level covered with a piece of sliding metal and a smaller slot for food and water at floor level. So you're looking into this next section just to the south of you. And there's all these opened gates and cages. But from somewhere off to the right-hand side or left-hand side of the map, you hear at least 2 distinct kobold voices talking about that they think they heard something. So you do with that as you see fit.
Yeah, Epicus kind of gestures to the door after everyone heard their voices, holds his finger up to his lips, and kind of makes a get on with it gesture.
I think at that point, Lucas just points over at Gris and then gestures towards the open door, raises a brow.
Yep, I'm going to ready an arrow, and I'm going to slowly make my way through the door.
As you slowly make your way through the door, Gris, go ahead and move yourself just past the entrance. Right there. Perfect. As you make your way to that point, as you're walking across, the floor itself is kind of that sticky, mossy, just years and years of ancient rot. And then despite your efforts, you're kind of just ever so slightly making that quick kind of noise as you make your way across. It's subtle. But as you get to there, I'm going to have you make a perception check off to the right-hand side of your character, left-hand side of the screen. 15. You see, just poking out from around the corner, just where your eyesight, you can kind of just see through the gates, these grates, these kind of iron bars of these cells. You see a greenish colored kobold, and he's holding a tiny little short bone. He's just ever so slightly poking around. You're not sure if he saw you, but you see him just kind of sniffing the air as he does so.
I'm going to turn my my head just slightly and just mouth that there's one that I see. To Epicus, because I assume him being the smartest, he can read.
Oop,
You just cut out there, buddy.
Little bit of chopping, Zeb. Oh, Sean's
Yeah.
not.
Oh.
Is it Sean?
Yep.
You're back, buddy. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. I'm gonna look back at Epicus and just mouth that I see one.
As you mention you see one, you hear another voice.
Fulto, how many do you smell? At least 2, maybe 3.
And you hear them start
Dude.
talking amongst themselves.
Do the voices sound very close together?
Very close together, yes.
All right, Epicus is gonna step up behind Gris, and he's gonna go ahead and drop a sleep spell right on top of the one,
I love it.
using his arcane bond to recall a spell he's already
Beautiful. And
casted.
that's a 10-foot radius?
It is 10 feet, from the point of impact,
Oh.
and it's a DC 16 will save.
Love it. All right, let me go ahead and make some quick will saves, and then we are likely going to roll for initiative. So give me one moment here.
Let's see if my second sleep spell can do as well as my first one.
Oh,
did.
man, are you ready for these will saves? Ooh, a 10.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. An 11.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so the kobold you saw, Gris, collapses to the ground, unconscious. From behind him, you hear another collapse to the ground. You hear one of them scream,
Ekde, now it's not time for sleeping. Now it's time for killing beanbags.
and you hear at least 2 or 3 others scurrying their way down the hall. And I'm going to go ahead and have everyone roll for initiative, and we're going to drop into a quick little combat here, my friends. And I am also going to reveal just a little bit more of the map for you.
Epicus draws himself up and gestures into the door very imperiously, hearing two thumps.
So for the record, it turns out that Cognitor also speaks Draconic because I jumped to point in linguistics. I never put my language on my sheet.
Love that. All right, so you see just around the corner, you see a couple of, you hear it more so, but you hear at least probably 3 to 4 more rounding the corner. And once everyone is in initiative, I'm going to go ahead and roll for these kobolds. We're going to jump into this party.
Can I speak as free action, right?
Absolutely.
At any point?
Absolutely.
Epicus says, that's 2 dead. I'm going to give you a bluff check. I don't know if they're very obvious, like snoring or doing some cartoonish sleep, or if they just slump to the floor.
They
Little
just
Z's coming in.
slump to the floor is what you see. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shitty bluff, damn it.
Oh.
Just look behind, just raise one eyebrow.
My game decided to crash.
Shakes his head very clearly.
All right, here we go. Now we're back in. All right, perfect. So let me get these guys over yonder, and they will roll their initiatives. Kobolds are super swift, just in case you were wondering.
Oh, very swift. I can see.
Oh, yes.
And in case you were wondering, these guys will also roll initiative, but they are sleeping, so they probably won't do anything. All right, so first up in the initiative, as the kobolds rise up and they realize that their surprise has likely been, I guess, discovered. You hear them rise up and they say,
For Saserac! For Saserac!
and they start screaming and like clanging their spears against the walls. You hear this just loud cacophonous clanging, and it sounds like there might be a horde of them, but you're pretty sure there's only about maybe 6, maybe 7 at most. But first up in the initiative is this sleeping one. He stirs slightly, like a sleeping kitten. Kind of does one of these. Maybe like a dog. He's obviously having a very exciting dream. But, Rikus, so you're up next.
All right. So I'm gonna just do some measuring here. 10. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna move Rikus here at the corner. And just wait. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens here.
Next up is this one. You hear scurrying from down the hall. Kelgadir, you're up next.
Right.
Epicus will speak out loud in common and say, they're going to wake their friends up if you take too long.
Cognitor is going to...
You said they were dead.
I lied! I said in Draconic!
Cognitor is going to haul some serious ass and get up here.
Well, it sounded like common to me.
Rikus speaks 2 words, just one phrase in Draconic. It's their dad.
I heard
He's dead.
dead. I know I heard dead.
All right. Next up is this other Kobold Warrior who's gonna move his way up the way here, zipping and diving and zobbing. And Epicus, you're up next.
He's going to move to there and ready a color spray if there happens to be a kobold that comes around that corner and no one's in front of him yet.
Oh, they're gonna have a bad day. Gris, you're up next.
I'm going to move here.
I love it. Lucas.
And he will just double move as well.
As you make your way right through the threshold, I need you to give me a will save, please.
Okay.
So let's just stop there for a moment. Fantastic. From your left, you see the glowing, faint, kind of blue aura of what looks to be a ghost, and reaching its way through the bars of this partly open prison cage of sorts. You see an elven-looking woman. She's dressed in ratty, tattered clothing. She's reaching through the bars. She looks sick, emaciated, as though she is on her last breath. She just opens her mouth and wails, "Please, please kill me," and just screams at you. But you make your will save and are not frightened. but it's still slightly unnerving. You may proceed forward with your movement.
Yes, so noticeably shaken, although he is not sort of broken. He's going to stagger past the other members of the group, I suppose, and take up that position he is originally intended to take.
Perfect. This kobold here. It gets to right there, and a certain ready to action goes off. Just running around the corner, just screaming with its spear in both hands. Looks real. Looks real ready.
I just want to make sure Gris isn't in his way. Yes. Color spray. That is another will save, and I believe.
Was that a
he
15-foot
fails.
cone?
Yes. That's the only one he's going to catch.
All right, let me just do one of these. We make it pretty. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. Look
I
at
assume
that.
he has less than 2 hit dice.
Oh, he absolutely does.
All right, and let me know if he fails.
And all right, you ready for this? Big money, no whammies.
Oh, he's failed.
Oh,
He is unconscious, blinded, and stunned for 2d4 rounds.
He drops to the ground, very sleepy, for 4 rounds.
oh my God.
You've killed him, Blau. You've killed him.
Thank you.
Look at him. He is dead. That is his corpse. He is on the ground.
Skadoosh, the color spray. So imagine, if you will, that Epicus raises his hands and just this smattering of rainbow colors just flies into this kobold. The kobold's like, and then collapses to the ground sleeping.
Maybe a little bit of brain melting out of his
A
ear.
little bit of flick brain melt. That's exactly right. Just mumbling to himself in Draconic, the colors! And that is his turn. This one here is still nippy napping. This one over here is going to round the corner.
Well, you're welcome, guys. I'm spent.
Get to right there.
It's
Double
okay,
move.
Polka Dot Man.
Still
We'll make it.
sleeping. We are back to the top of the turn with Rikus.
All right. Yeah, I think.
Epicus definitely squeals a little bit when the second one comes around the corner. He's out of spells.
And I think sort of simultaneously, Rikus moves past Lucas and Epicus and has a swing at this little man. So let's see. Yeah, here we are.
11. 11 is actually, I think that might be a hit.
But
No, it's not actually. That's actually not a
Okay.
hit, unfortunately. I would have been very excited for you, though.
missed it by that much.
Just a little bit. Not too bad. Just a little bit.
Give the lizard man a haircut.
And as that's all going on, each of you that is right next to, so that would be Epicus and Gris, both of you would hear from that cell what sounds like the scraping of like manacles on the stone or chains being dragged across a stone floor. I need you both to make will saves.
Wow.
Epicus, you're a little shaken by that kobold round in the corner, realizing you're mostly out of spells. As you look to your right, you see a human man, very similar to the way I described it to Lucas, dressed kind of in tattered-looking wizard robes. It almost looks like an older version of yourself. He is emaciated, sick, and he reaches through the bars and screams, "Please, kill me." And his mouth opens wide and his eyes seem sunken in as though they have been maybe gouged out. It's horrific. And you are currently shaken for the next...
Epicus flattens himself against the opposite wall.
Next 2 rounds, you are shaken. Not terrible, but not great. I'm going to go ahead and put that on you right there. And Rikus, you've moved up, and what are you doing? You're going to make an attack roll? You did make your attack roll.
I
So
already
you
did, yep.
now moving there would provoke an attack of opportunity from that kobold. I want to make sure you're cool
Please.
with that. All right.
Yeah,
So as
go
you
for it.
come up, you swing with your longsword. The kobold ducks under it, cackling like some sort of hyena monster, although it is more reptilian than it is mammalian. And it goes to stab its spear up into your gut. It's going to make a quick little attack roll here. Let's see how he does. 14.
No.
What type of armor are you wearing?
Scale.
As you stabs into you, you feel it kind of hit, and you hear the scraping of his stone spear tip against your armor, and it does not penetrate. Next up is this kobold in the back. He's feeling rambunctious. He's going to get up to there. He's also going to stab at Rikus. 18, I think, does meet.
That is
Does
meat.
meet.
That does meat.
So as you are kind of watching it scrape, it opens up your side and he goes for your upper thigh versus your actual where your breastplate is. He sees his friend hit the breastplate. He goes for the thigh. And that will be a whopping... Oh, nope. 0.
Yeah!
You take 1 point of non-lethal damage. He scrapes your leg.
He
It
just-
barely
it's
hurts.
just-
One
it's
non-lethal.
just-
Wrong
Ow.
side of the spear.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He's stabbed with the blunt end. It gave you a really nasty
Dude.
bruise, is what happens. These poor kobolds are just trying to live their best kobold life. Alright, next up is Kelgadir.
Elgadir will rage!
I love it. I love it.
Okay. I'm going to have.
Oh my stars.
So I've got this. First thing I want to do is I want to intimidate this little shit. I want to demoralize him. I'm going to yell at him in Draconic. I'm going to rip off your head and make a candle holder from your bones!
And with the mention of bones, Gris, the cell back here, you hear clattering. What sounds like bones on the floor, like someone was maybe even tossing them, trying to read them. And Lucas, I need you to make a perception check, real quick. You want to roll low. You don't want to notice this.
Who's
Good.
throwing bones?
What kind of man would throw bones?
What kind of man would throw another man's
Ah,
bones?
Lucas, you notice that in that room, you see on the dusty floor, small little what look like finger bones. Maybe the bones of someone's hands. And they kind of look like they're crawling around on the dust and through the muck and grime. Kind of looks like little spiders crawling around. And as that happens,
Little spider bones.
you notice it's rising up inside of that room, lighting itself on fire, is a headless, humanoid-looking skeleton that appears to be wielding a thigh bone in its hand. And I'm adding an additional monster to the initiative. So that's a thing. All right, and all right, you hear a voice kind of seems to echo out from this chamber, and only you can hear this, Lucas. We must burn away all of this misery. We must burn away all of this pain. We will start with you. And it's just a cacophony of voices, similar to what you heard from that other room. It seems like the haunt has spread throughout this entire dungeon. But Kelgadir, you've raged and intimidated. This goblin is currently demoralized and is shaken in its boots, as it were. Absolutely shaken in its boots.
The I don't know, flaming skeleton dude. I mean, does only he see him, or I mean?
Oh,
can
you
I
can
hear
see
this?
him. You can see him. You can't hear the voices in his head, but you can see the burning skeleton clear as day. In fact, it's illuminating that chamber quite nicely.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, we seem to have a problem. And I'm going to stay where I am because Kagadir's assuming he's going to have to dance with this flaming skeleton.
It is likely. I'll say it is likely.
So, let's see. Intimidating somebody is a standard action, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then he'll just
Very
stay.
good.
He'll just stay here and wait.
Burning skeleton takes a step up, and as it does so, you watch as this femur that seems to have grown kind of into like a little bit of a bone axe. He swings down at Kelgadir. Its head still just gone. It just swings. You can hear the creaking and the cracking of its bones and the sizzling and kind of the crackling of the fire that has engulfed its body. And it's going to swing at Kelgadir. 17.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Ooh, all right. You take a whopping. This is going to hurt, and I apologize in advance.
Yeah.
11 damage.
Jesus.
Do you have any fire resistance?
I do not.
All right, so this thing swings down. Kelgadir is raging. He's screaming at this goblin as it swings down. The bone axe buries itself into his shoulder, cutting deep. You feel both your, I would suppose, your muscle and bones snap. No jokes intended. You can feel your collarbone snap under the weight of this, and the breath is somewhat knocked out of you. As it hits you, it sizzles around, melting some of your flesh from this flaming axe, and now you too hear that same ghostly voice that I described to Lucas. It's screaming, "We must burn away the pain of this place, starting with you." And it's just this angry, burning skeleton next to you. Next up, we have this Kobold Warrior. It's going to move over. Takes him 2 moves to get there, though. Next up is a somewhat panicked, but not actually panicked, because that's a terrible condition in Pathfinder.
Yes.
Also, thank you, I'm not sure I'm saying this right, but Prerte, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure. And next up we have Epicus. Excuse me.
Epicus is going to 5-foot step back, kind of getting away from both the cage and the front line.
Mhm.
He's going to pull a little vial from his pouch, put it onto his thumb, and anoint Calgadir's forehead with some blood that doesn't feel quite right. And Mr. Lucas there might be able to recognize it as demon blood as he casts the spell Infernal Healing
Yeah, infernal healing.
on Calgadir. So enjoy your fast healing there.
Fast healing. Oh. All
Fast
right.
healing 1.
Fast healing 1. And it
10
takes
rounds.
This starts my next turn, right? Or does it
Yeah,
start?
so-
a
So upon your turn, you will heal 1 hit point for the next 10 turns.
Okay, cool.
Gris, you are up next.
And I am now completely out of spells.
Yay.
I'm gonna shoot the kobold in front of me.
I might suggest taking a 5-foot step back so it doesn't attack you.
Ooh, yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Remember your favorite enemy, buddy.
I know. I gotta.
Buddy.
I gotta remember the. what I
Well,
gotta
thank you,
input for
Pre,
this.
for his follow. Atomic, I appreciate it, man.
It's 2 for favored, 2 for
Plus
Point
2 to
blank shot.
attack and
Or
damage.
1 for point blank shot.
So, yeah, plus 3 then, all together on whatever you roll. Or if you want to add it in ahead of time. Perfect.
I think it would be this. It's this, I believe.
Oh! So, imagine, if you will, that Gris takes a step back. Gris, you remember that last time you missed, which was like the first time in your life you ever missed? Well, you don't
Yeah.
miss this time. That little kobold's like,
My skull! I don't want it to be turned into a ball! No!
and you're like, don't worry about it. You won't have a skull. Thunk, an arrow right through its head. The kobold drops to the ground, just dead. He's still kind of mumbling to himself as he drops, but he's out for the count right there. Next up, we have Lucas. Lucas, you are slightly shaken in this moment. Things have gotten a little weird. There's some ghosts and a burning skeleton. What would you like to do?
So 5-foot step does not provoke an attack of opportunity if I was to move in front of him.
It does not.
Okay. Then slightly ashen under that wispy and incomplete beard that sort of conceals part of his elven heritage. He's distracted by those myriad events because he's just seen somebody use demon blood on Kelgadir, but he's going to take a 5-foot step towards the creature trying to impose himself or interpose himself between Kelgadir and the entity, and raising up his buckler, he's then going to use his aura. So
You're going to channel positive energy
yes,
to harm undead? Good man. All right, roll a d6.
This guy knows what's up.
3 damage, not bad. So as you grab onto your buckler, you have your holy symbol in hand as well, or maybe the holy symbol on the buckler. You feel that divine presence of Milani, and there's this pulse of golden white energy that seems to begin to kind of swirl around like an orb and then plumes out from you. And as it hits the skeleton, you watch as it begins to somewhat mute and dampen this burning sensation on it, this kind of bright light. But then the creature itself, you watch some of the bones start to kind of melt away or turn to ash from this holy energy that wraps around it. And it's got to make a quick will save, which it will probably fail. 13 is a fail. And it looks a little bit less put together than it did, but it is
Hey,
still
lay down.
standing. Don't tell me how to live my life. The skeleton's still standing, Plow. All right, calm down. All right.
Okay, well, you're not Titan, but all right.
That's fair. All right. This Kobold Warrior here is nippy napping and blind. This Kobold Warrior here is dead. This Kobold Warrior back here is still sleeping. This one's also sleeping. We are back to the top of the round with Rikus. If you're talking, you are muted, good sir.
I'm going to attack the one in front of me.
I love it.
All right. It's
Got this right.
17 for 8. Describe to us, Aaron, if you would, how you slay this kobold.
just, I guess, a quick feint, and he perhaps overextends his reach on a counter, and Rikus just like chops the front half of his face off
Just-
as he sidesteps brings it down.
It's quite grisly, and there's blood everywhere. But yes, you have slain that kobold. Quite dead. The kobold to his
Chris is just yes.
kobold to his left screams,
Nakare, no! You are 2 days from retirement.
or something stupid like that, because that's always a good joke. All right, and enough joking. This kobold here, though, in all seriousness and retaliation, is screaming, "Kare, no, my broodmate," and takes its spear, drops it to the ground, and leaps towards your face, trying to literally jump onto your face with claw and fang simultaneously. What is your CMD?
Let's see.
It's probably gonna fail.
13.
All right. Then, as it jumps onto your face, you take the pommel of your sword and just hit its chest, and it falls back, kind of landing on its backside, prone, just screaming how it's going to, in Draconic, rip out your throat, murder you, take your ghibli bits, etc. It's quite grisly for anyone that would actually understand Draconic. But Calgadir, you're up next.
All right. I mean, can I hit this thing from where I'm at, or I need to?
Absolutely.
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 Okay.
It's right in that kind of that doorway into this old
Yeah.
ancient cell. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to reply in kind to its rather rude greeting, if I'm
Sure,
honest.
absolutely.
So let's do a little bit of this. Oh, come on.
Oof. Oof. You swing, and guess what? Guess what? That
Yeah.
is actually, unfortunately, a miss. I hate to say it. You hate
If
to
I
see
would
it.
if I would have connected.
So here's what happens. You go to swing, and that muscle that was cut, you just don't quite have the strength to bring the sword up. And it hits hard, but it hits the metal bars. You actually crack some of those rusted metal bars and kind of cut through, actually opening the entrance a little bit wider than what it was. The skeleton itself, though, now has a new target. And it turns towards the elven cleric, and it seems to get a little bit brighter in this moment, and it's going to take a swing at you, man, and I hope it misses. 12 is a miss. It brings this burning axe down towards you, and as it does so, there's just a little bit of that fading golden holy light that you would cast from your channel energy that it seems to hit and almost just bounce off of, as it cannot push through this positive holy light that you have channeled. Next up is this Kobold Warrior, who is dead, and Epicus, you are out of spells, but you're not out of throwing your sword at people.
I am not out of that. I've got plenty more of that, and he's going to do that, but at -2 because he is still shaken. At the one remaining still standing.
I love it. Come on, go for a hit. Ooh.
12.
Swing and
Nope.
miss. So close.
All right.
So close.
1 damage. Only 1 damage, anyways.
All right. Well, hey. Next up is Gris. There's one kobold. It's on the ground.
I'm gonna hit that kobold that's in front of me.
I love it. I believe. Oof.
Ah,
You shoot, and it goes right between its legs, and it ricochets up and down the hallway, clattering kind of into this wall a little bit. But as it does so, in fact, it actually hits the ground and clatters over in this direction towards one of those sleeping kobolds. Give me a quick perception check. I want to see if you notice something. It's a DC 20. You do not notice it. It's all right. Lucas, there's still a
Fine.
burning skeleton in front of you. It tried to ask you a question. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think I'm going to just respond in kind by taking a swing at it with the my Morningstar.
Yes. Oh, it looks so cool. It looks like you're about to connect, and it just brings its flaming femur axe up and catches your morning star, and then tosses your. It's still holding on to it, tosses it to the side, and then burns a little brighter. You can feel the heat emanating off of this burning skeleton. This kobold here is still dreaming. This one is dreaming. This one is dreaming. Next up is one Rikus. Rikus, this kobold is on the ground. You're currently getting a +4 to attack it. Pretty much just gotta finish it off. It's screaming. You hear the name over and over and over.
Nakare, Nakare, I will avenge you. Ah.
Just super angry about that you killed its mate.
You're muted.
Plus, yes.
As is tradition.
+4. So let's go.
+4. That is a 4. You stab down into it, and you catch it in the gut. Nice solid thrust into it. You draw back thinking that must have been a kill blow, and then the kobold still moves. It starts to maneuver a little bit. It's bleeding out from its gut, but it's still alive. And in fact, it's its turn. And in one swift motion, it lunges for your ankle. So it's just going to stay prone. It's just going to lunge towards you, trying to grab onto your leg and get something fleshy and get some of those meaty bits. It's going to try to claw and bite you simultaneously. And I'm going to roll another... Let's see if it hits you. 19! It grapples onto your leg like a tiny little vicious, well, kobold, for lack of a better phrase. And it is going to bite and claw into you. And it's going to actually deal you just a little bit of damage. It's not going to be too bad. But you're going to take 6 points of damage as it literally just lunges onto your leg, starts clawing, biting, gnawing, and just simultaneously screaming with mouthfuls of your ankle and your calf. All right? It does not feel good. But Kelgadir, you're up next. This time, I believe.
All right. Calgadir's going to take another swing. Hopefully, we'll connect this time because, you know, love this. Oh,
Oh, no. That arm, that wound, it is still hurting. Go ahead and roll to confirm.
Oh, boy.
Please don't
All right.
confirm.
Yeah, please don't confirm.
I do
Oh,
have...
for fuck's sake.
Oh, come on. So you go to swing, and again, it looks like it's going to be a kill, but then your arm, your left arm, that would be the right arm that it hit, it gives out a little bit, and the sword just falls just a little bit short of the skeleton. Now it is the burning skeleton once again, and it sees this cleric, this holy do-gooder, and once again, it screams in your mind at both Kelgadir and Lucas. Just roars. We shall be avenged. We shall be avenged. The burning corruption shall consume all. And it's going to go ahead and swing on you. And I am scared. I'm just scared. 11. That's a miss. Swings wide. Once again, you bring up that buckler and you knock that flaming thigh-bone axe away, which is glorious. Epicus, you still have a sword,
Gonna try and finish that kobold.
I believe. Oof.
12?
Dinks
No?
off the ground. Gris, it's on Rikus's leg. It's chewing at it. It's like a rat that just lunged at it. A 25. There it is. All right. So as it is, it's clawing and biting. Rikus, you're shaking your leg, trying to get it off. It's tearing away at your pant leg. You can feel its claws and its razor-sharp teeth gnawing into your leg. Blood is starting to pool out of your leg. It's starting to feel a little bit weak. And as it lunges back and looks like it's about to try to rip out his Achilles tendon, Gris, you see your shot. Boom, right through its open mouth, right through the back of its head, and it falls off, taking a little bit of pant leg with it as it does so. But that kobold is defeated.
Oh no! I ripped my pants.
Lucas,
It'll be all right,
And everyone would be on his side.
This burning skeleton is all that remains in the hallway, other than a few sleeping kobolds.
These are my good pants.
Not anymore.
Anybody take us profession tailor?
I mean, I should have taken mend as an orison, but you know.
Nice.
Oh, that would have been an amazing hit.
It would be a great hit.
But it goes wide, unfortunately. Again, you are in battle, just clang, clang, slash, clang, back and forth with this burning skeleton. Sleeping. Rikus, you're up next.
All right. So seeing, I guess, at this point with the immediate threat neutralized where I am, I guess now I could probably devote some mental bandwidth to seeing that Kelgadir and Lucas seem to be engaged with a burning skeleton.
Yes. You see the flicker, like they're shadowed by it, like their outlines are behind it.
So I just sort of picture for a second, like Rikus is just like catching his breath, like, "Ooh, that was good job, guys." And then he's like, "Wait," and then he turns and sees this and just lets out a surprise. Oh, and he'll move up. If I move up to stand shoulder to shoulder with Lucas, can I get a hit at this thing?
Absolutely. That's
All
less
right.
than 30 feet movement, right? Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Plus, we made the door kind of wider.
Oh, it's much
did.
wider,
You
yeah.
dinged
That's
it
right,
up pretty
Calgary.
good.
You're absolutely right, man.
I've been
All right.
I've been taking out a wall with a great axe. I'm just doing some demolition renovations. It's fine.
Oh my god!
It is this guy is swift as can be. Calgadir.
Ah,
Calgadir,
Kill
the
it.
rage
You got
is
this.
building up inside you. You see your father,
Come on.
laughing at you. You are no
Alright.
warrior. You are
Alright,
weak.
come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking.
Prove
I
him
just.
wrong. Prove him wrong.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh fuck!
Oh,
Oh
son of a
my
bitch!
God.
Come on.
This
Calculator just went-
champion.
In your mind's eye, the rage building. You see your father shaking his head disapprovingly.
Calgary just throws the axe, whips out the shotgun. Let's go. You know, that's I wish.
You are no son of mine. And the burning skeleton is gonna do something crazy. It drops its flaming axe, its thigh bone axe, and you see it grab onto its rib cage, and it starts to crack. The whole thing begins to burn bright, and then in a split second, it explodes, emitting shards of bone and fire everywhere. I need all 3 people in front of it to roll me reflex saves, please.
That's a bad thing. Don't ask me for those. Those are.
Yeah, my reflex isn't great.
You're good, Lucas. You're
No,
not
for-
good, Kelgadir.
Yeah, no shit.
You're good, Rikus. So Rikus and Kelgadir, you are taking... excuse me, Rikus and Lucas, you're taking half of this. The other 2 are taking, well... Kelgadir, you're taking full, and I apologize in advance. That is 6 fire damage as this burning skeleton bursts into flame, sending out that the other 2 are only taking 5. And that's from bits of chunks of bone and burning sinew and whatnot that flies out. But as that happens, other than some snoring kobolds down the way, which you can very easily move it over and coup de grace with no trouble, combat seems to have ended.
Do we have like 40 seconds?
You have plenty of time. No immediate threats.
All right, you got 8 healing left on that fast healing there.
Yeah, Calgary's like shit singed and just sitting there, but like his, you know, as the demon blood seeps into his forehead, his horrid shoulder wound just seems to like reverse and knit itself back together. So,
Well, that went well.
If
I just kind of looks down at his hands are shaking a little bit, looking at where he was standing 5 feet away from an actual kobold enemy. That was crazy.
I'd like to walk down the hallway and just ice these.
You may go down the
Kobolds.
hallway and either knife or shoot them. Probably knife them.
Yep.
Just like quick swift
Yep.
knife stab to the throat. And as you do so, you get to over here, Gris. If you could give me a favor and give me a quick perception check, if you wouldn't mind. That is, survey
Pretty good.
says, that is a 17. You notice that there is a small amount right next to this kobold that you slay right here, right next to this kobold. You notice that there is a small amount of stale air, and you think that the wall, well, that might not be an actual wall. You think there might be maybe a passage right behind that kobold. Just a little bit of additional stale air is kind of wafting its way from there. The dust is stirring a little bit, but there's probably a secret door right there. I'm going to go ahead and mark that secret door with a bright red circle so that you don't forget that it's there.
Do the kobolds have anything of value as we slit the throats and fleece up bodies?
Are we gonna do some looting? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So
May as
on
well.
those kobolds, you find some stuff. You find 3 small size spears of moderate quality, and by moderate I mean they function. You also find 6 slings on them, and then in addition to that, you also find on the kobold that was both blind, deaf, and dumb, you find a partial ripped, what appears to be a tattered robe from a very, very fine silk and leather robe. Silk and leather, like leather on the outside with silk on the inside. It looks to have been torn off, kept as a keepsake. Someone of great wealth likely had the remainder of this robe at one point.
All right.
I would let everybody know about the breeze that I found. So I'd be walking up, I assume, as they're looting to tell them that there's a breeze on this wall that shouldn't be there.
okay, that's all well and good, but why are we still here?
Don't know where the body is.
We were tasked to find the husband.
Right, but given no specific timetable.
Well, the wizard
village-
could still be alive. We have evidence of his being down here.
We have his tracks. Point to Ebius's hand. We have what looks to maybe be part of his robes. I don't know how the man dressed like, but
There's that, and there was the implication that Oregon wanted to handle this now, given that the village is all out there watching.
Well, quite frankly, I don't really care what the mayor wants.
It's
got a chance to save somebody. I mean, I say take it.
On that note, could I use my my channel positive energy to heal everyone? Who
Absolutely. You
Has
can
been,
do a
injured?
30-foot cone and heal all allies and enemies if they weren't totally dead, which they're all dead, so that's fine.
30-foot
I actually have
circle.
selective channeling,
Yeah,
so
30-foot circle. Excuse me, I said cone, I meant circle.
Yeah.
they're
Game master
they're
ever.
very similar.
Not really. That's okay. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, so as he is saying that, he actually grasps hold of that little wooden symbol of Milani, the sort of cracked rose, and you see that golden light sort of start to almost like coalesce around his hand in this almost like liquid fashion, and then bursts outward. So you can all take a d6 of healing, and that applies to me as well.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Hashtag, that's why you bring a cleric. Yes!
Yeah.
The cracked rose seems to kind of shake for a moment, and you realize it's your own hands that are shaking. It's not quite as potent as you would have liked. By the way, Gris, the air that was wafting out, the kind of stale air, it was unnaturally cold. Like winter almost. A little bit of frost. That's what you also noticed. A little bit of frost had built up around that secret door.
Definitely let everybody know that. But I'd also look to Calgadir and just go, did that amount of bones attack you with his bones?
Yes, he did. And it hurt quite a bit.
Well, I could see that it hurt. You bleeding. You bled everywhere.
I'll make more.
Well, let's hope not. But are you all right?
He looks at himself. He's covered in blood. He's like singed. He's like like smells slightly smoky. He's like, I've been better. I've definitely been better.
You don't look bad. You look great.
Oh, I look fantastic. But I am in quite a bit of
things.
I am quite a bit of pain. Yes.
Perception checks from the party, please.
Mm-hmm.
Calgadir, always Calgadir. I love it. So both Rikus and Calgadir would hear this. It is a tiny voice, and it seems much deeper in the cavern, or in the cave, this dungeon. It goes down to the right, on the right-hand side here. Seems to be coming, kind of echoing down the hallway, and you hear this voice, and it says, "Quote the dragon, roar, roar, roar. Quote the dragon, roar, roar, roar." Sounds like a bird voice of some kind.
Mm.
Quote the dragon, roar,
Quote, okay.
roar, roar. Quote the dragon, roar, roar, roar.
Somebody said something about a dragon.
Sounded like some kind of bird. Some such pet, perhaps. Maybe a familiar. Never seen a kobold with a familiar.
Let's
Let's
go.
talk
We're not
about
getting any
everything.
healthier.
Wizards have familiars, don't they, Epicus?
Some of them do.
Well, a talking bird seems like a thing a wizard would have.
Calgadir produces his hedgehog from his little pouch. It's like, I mean, I'm not a wizard, and I have this thing.
But does it talk?
Can it talk? Yes.
Epicus shrugs and
I think it can actually talk to me, but no one else.
That's called insanity.
I've heard some birds mimic sounds.
Well, let's go. Standing around, just playing with ourselves isn't going to get us anywhere.
I don't think any of us are playing with anything. We could have
Isn't
been
it-
killed just now.
This Cavalier walks, like every time he goes by these kobolds, he's making a point to like step on them, like as he walks over, because he's miffed.
A little salty. A little salty.
Real salty about not
like that.
killing the skeleton. Yeah. So I don't know what 250 pounds of meat sounds like when it steps on a kobold, but I'm imagining there's some crunch.
Very crunchy.
Probably a couple of ribs breaking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you round the corner there, Kelgadere, you're also gonna make a quick perception check. You're gonna go +5 this because Gris has mentioned it.
+5 is okay. So 22.
Yes. So you see that little wisp of dust. There's kind of this cold air coming out from the secret passageway, but you also hear what sounds like you've had, you wear furs and you've had static shocks before. Kind of that like static shot if you grabbed onto if you touched the like head of your axe or something like that. And it sounds like that a little bit, but like simultaneously over and over, like multiple sparks, multiple static shocks from inside that area.
Well, that's not foreboding at all. So, well, let's get a move on.
Quote the dragon.
Right behind you.
Roar, roar, roar.
Yep.
Quote the dragon. And that is echoing. So the creepy wind is coming from this section right here.
Okay.
And then the other stuff is coming from down the hallway.
So,
Top there.
Upon closer inspection, I mean, is this like an obvious, like, oh, this is a weakened wall, or is it just...
It's a secret door. It seems to be a secret door. And it looks like there is a press panel. You would actually, with that 22 would have noticed there's a pressure plate. You push it, the door slides back manually, and then you can slide it to the side.
Okay. Yeah, he'll wait for the others to get up here, and then be like, there's a button thing here, plate of some sort.
Maybe the bird first. That looks kind of ominous.
Agreed.
I'm down for whatever, whichever one we go for first.
Actually, GM, can I take a look at where Kalgadir is pointing?
Yeah.
Is there any evidence that this secret passage has been recently used?
Phenomenal question. Roll a survival check.
It's a horrible roll. I don't survive.
Or perception, whatever your preference.
That's equally bad.
All right.
So we'll do survival. Let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. There's a lot of
Can
blood and gore.
A lot of
Absolutely,
blood.
Gris. You
Can I
absolutely
check?
You can absolutely check.
Ranger,
just come swooping in.
Oh boy, over here.
So as Rikus is muddling around on the ground trying to see,
I don't know.
I don't know, and he's put all his footprints all over there. He's kicked up the dust. Gris, it's impossible to tell at this point. The scene has been
You
there
contaminated
was
the crime scene. Way
no
to go,
crime scene integrity whatsoever.
If only there was some way to know if this has been recently used.
Just put a hand on his shoulder, just I don't know.
Are these tracks as he like brushes them away? It's like,
It's hard to tell.
My God, it was me.
Rikus,
You've been in here?
It would have been the whole time attacking.
Epicus, from down the hallway, as you've rounded the corner, you see that there is a bit of flickering, what looks to be either torchlight or firelight from down the hallway. It's just flickering around the corner, so there's likely another passageway or room of some kind. And through that flickering firelight, you see what appears to be a winged shadow is passing. So if there's a fire, there's the hallway, it's kind of crackling and sending firelight down this way. You see a shadow fly back and forth in front of it. It's playing along the right-hand wall.
I guess we'll keep kind of walking slowly down the corridor.
Well, not gonna let him go off there by himself. So
Yeah.
Here they come!
Oh,
Roar,
no,
roar,
they're all-
roar!
Oh, they're all dead. Please, come on.
Yeah, make our way up to him.
Ah, yes, here we go. To your doom!
Yeah.
And as you get close to the corner, go ahead and reveal.
Epicus is definitely not walking in front if they catch up to him. By the way,
Who wants to round the corner?
if they start making moves to follow him, he's like, all right.
I'll notch an arrow and I'll lean around the corner.
So you lean around the corner. There could be little doubt what the purpose of this chamber once served. The dank room stores an ancient rack, a fanciful brazen bull, an iron maiden, a cauldron, iron chairs with sharp edges, and a cruel I don't know what this word is. Proto-turbulences? It's a terrible word.
Protuberance?
Protuberances?
Yes, that's what it says. And the wooden table upon which sits various implements of torture. A bronze plaque affixed to the western wall depicts a crowing rooster carved above cross spears. Underneath the spear, a short phrase is inscribed. The phrase, emblazoned on the plaque, written in common, reads, "Confession cleanses the soul. Pain clarifies the mind." And sitting atop of this tiny little statue, this little plaque, is a black raven. And the black raven says, quote the dragon, "Roar, roar, roar. Confession cleanses the soul. Pain clarifies the mind." And then it squawks loudly.
Just, the scene in Fury Road. That's bait. That's bait. No. That's bait.
I'm leaning over, just going, "Oh, there's another Iron Maiden in here. I don't want to go in here. I don't want to deal with any more bugs today."
Greetings, citizens. Fine citizens of our glorious empire.
The bird begins to talk to you.
So good to have visitors, though I fear I have no refreshments to offer. I assume you are here for the treasure. Well, I'd be happy to assist, provided that you give me what I require. It's been so long since I was able to apply my trade. I'll require only that each of you shed your life's blood in this room. Simply take a seat in one of my lovely chairs. Squawk!
Is this bird some kind of torturer?
That does seem to be the
Question,
indication, yes.
question for the bird.
Yeah, the Rikus will just look at him, point like, "Bird, are you a torturer?"
Quote the torturer. Pain, pain, pain.
It's not very creative, but yes, it is a torturer.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I didn't really come here for torture.
Are you sure about that? I mean, it seemed like that was going to be the necessary and logical consequence of coming down here.
You have a dark turn of mind.
So,
Well, creeping down to the ruined tower didn't seem like it was going to end in any place good, but that's beside the point, I suppose. I would recommend that we not, and he looks over at Epicus, give the creature any of our blood, because I assume that's only going to lead to horrible things.
I don't know what it could possibly want with it, but yes. Can't imagine anything good.
Who is rounding the corner?
It was Grease.
Hey, Gris. The bird's eyes flash blue for a moment. Give me a will save.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh!
thank you, God!
Oh,
thank you!
wow.
Oh, go to hell, demon
Who would
bird.
try to mind control a man with bones?
Oh, thank
Here's where
God,
we're
my
at.
bones.
You feel this compulsion to move forward. You feel this voice inside your head. It seems like it's your own, and then you quickly realize it's not your own inside your mind. It is the bird attempting to cast a spell on you. Its eyes glow bright blue for a moment, then they go back to the beady black eyes that it has, and you realize it just tried to cast a spell on you. It tried to mind control you of some sort. It's a bad bird.
I go back around the corner and just immediately nope, bad bird. It just tried to take control of me. I don't know how. It's a bird. I don't know if they're able to cast spells. It was in my mind for a second.
Were there any verbal components I could identify from around the corner? Or audible components?
Seem to cast it without the need for audible or visual components.
I would look at Epicus, who is the only person that Gris knows that knows magic to his degree, and just go, its eyes flash blue for a second, and I felt it.
Spellcraft check on this.
There we go.
But that is not a good bird.
Ooh, it sounds like a modified suggestion spell.
I don't think we should go in there. I don't think we should go around that corner.
I do not.
I don't
want to go in there. That was enough for me.
There was nothing very shiny in that room, was there? No, I was joking.
The
but
black looked very nice. Probably worth a couple of gold. It's very nice black. Aaron?
What if either the wizard or the husband went in there?
Did you see a corpse, Grease?
I didn't see anything other than the bird. I felt drawn to it. But I don't think I've seen anything in there. I'm perfectly okay with walking away from this room. I will be honest with everybody right now. That is out of my wheelhouse.
Let's leave and come back if we have to, if we don't find what we're after.
This is the room from whence the kobolds came, yes?
It is.
Kobold Raven.
If they were
They had
here,
birds.
what was that, Chris?
I don't think kobolds keep birds. Could the bird be controlling the kobolds like it tried me? I'm sorry, I'm a little shaken.
Well, as they're talking, I'm just going to go back to these kobolds, one of the ones that was sleeping, and roll it over and try and examine it for any signs of shedding its blood in that room. Because it only has a slit throat.
Each of them seem to have small little pinprick marks, as though they sat in a chair with spikes of some kind.
She'll bring that to the group's attention.
Well, let's just take a look around before we decide to. I really don't want to go in there. If there's,
I'm not going in there unless I have to. Unless
Epicus
absolutely have
nods
to.
in agreement. If we don't find Hunkley and we don't find the Organa's husband, Lord Organa.
Huh. Well, wait, we've only got the room. Well, I guess we got all the stuff on the east side, and then we've got the one at the bottom, and then the secret door. So, secret door.
Let's search the cells real quick first, because it sounds like there's
Yeah.
something here that's going to keep triggering on
Excuse
us
me.
if we don't.
Shoot the bird.
So
Shoot the bird.
Can we just do a quick perception check? It looks like it's blocked off over there. I don't think we're going to learn
it is
anything,
blocked
right?
off over yonder. That is collapsed in as though the dungeon had fallen on itself when the tower fell.
Can someone who has perception beyond 6 inches past his nose also help Epicus look around?
Good
Look at
idea.
it, we'll do it. It's gonna be the one roll I can fucking make.
Come on.
I got plenty of rolls I can make. That's not one of them.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, we can go search begin to go search all this stuff. I mean, we don't really have a bunch of other options.
Perfect. I love it.
So
No, I just think we should cover our rear before we start advancing into a
yeah, no,
new
it's-
section.
start searching cells.
As you begin your search of the cells, Calgadir,
Yep.
that kind of coldness returns, but it's very muted, as though
Very muted.
it's maybe trying to form up again.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the rooms feel hot, some of the rooms feel very cold. There is a uncharacteristically odd kind of variance between the rooms. It's almost like it goes hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold. Each room having a different temperature. The hallway itself is consistent, but all the chambers themselves have different temperatures.
Yeah, knowing that there's some kind of spirit thing here, because I'm assuming, I mean, obviously we had the whatever, and I'm assuming he shared about seeing the ghost lady.
I
At
don't
some
know. Did
point.
Lucas share that?
It seems like something he would share.
He didn't actually say anything about it, but
Okay.
we have seen other apparitions, and we
Yeah.
are aware of them haunting this entire region.
So Calgadir will announce to any spirits, any old ones here. We're here to help. Wish you no harm. He's just kind of hoping to bullshit and see if
It is
someone's not just going to try and
seems
touch
to
him.
be coming from behind these secret doors, but you hear a far off call. Oh, God's kind faces! Aridin, bless you, noble souls! Please, please help me! Help me! Help me!
Do I recognize Hunkley's voice, or is that obviously a spirit?
Seems to be a little more ghostly.
All right.
Well, if we
And
find
it
nothing
said,
else,
"O God's kind faces, Aridin bless you, noble souls. Help me, help me, help me."
so I guess that's our last. Other than the bird, that's our last.
Secret
Last
passageway or bird. Those are your options. Both of them not
Secret
great.
passageway.
Calgador will
Yep.
steal himself and proceed to open the door.
I love it. As the doorway opens, there is this sickening grinding noise of stone on stone as it slowly grinds open. And as it grinds open, you see what appears to be a secret jail area for likely where the folks were put in like solitary confinement. Each of these cells are significantly smaller than the others you have seen. And they have much smaller peepholes, much thicker doors, and each of the jail cells here, unlike the ones in the other chamber which were open, each of these remains closed. How would you like to proceed?
Magic Man, what do you detect? Do you see anything? Do you sense anything? He doesn't care. He doesn't know. It's like, you do spells. You do magic things.
Epicus will, kind of make a gesture with his hands and start, dousing rotting for spells.
So as you do a quick 360 with your detect magic, you're actually picking up a faint amount of transmutation magic coming from inside of the walls in the center of this chamber here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of mark here with a circle. It's a dark color, so I'll make it a little bit brighter. But inside, oops, didn't change colors. My bad. 1 second.
I can see it.
You see that? So inside there, you're picking up what appears to be some very strong transmutation magic. Go ahead and delete these kobolds off the map.
The wall over there might not be what it appears, but I'm not sure what that might be. It might have been something different before, or transmutation magic.
Perhaps they walled someone or something in.
I mean, there is magic that can just reshape stone. Is that possibly it was applied there?
Could be.
Help me.
Though I'm not sure how long that would
Please.
linger.
Help me. I haven't eaten in days. Please.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Check. Epicus will keep detect magic up as they roam down this corridor, and he would advise that we check each cell as we go by. Check the eye slit.
So we're going into the solitary confinement
As
room?
you check
I think so.
each cell, you hear on the other side of the cells, each of them is locked. They're barred. The doors themselves are almost completely rusted shut, but you hear what sounds like tin cups, maybe bowls clanging against these walls, and you hear the muted sounds of what sounds like prisoners crying, "Food, water, please! Good Baron Sava wills it, food, water, please! Please, please!" Give me a knowledge history check, anyone that has it.
Knock on the door. Do you classify yourself as human? I don't have that.
So, Epicus, you would recognize the name Baron Sorvo. He was a Belhaim lord who rebelled against the crown in 45 AR and was the last clankature to rule the town. So Baron Sarvo wills it. Write that down. Baron Sarvo wills it. Good Baron.
That was
Sarvo
over
wills it.
1,000 years ago, isn't it?
That is over. It's about 400 years ago.
Oh, is it 475 AR? I thought it was 1475 AR.
Yeah. 250.
I always forget because
Yeah.
it's 14 roughly. It's roughly 1400
Correct.
according to our calendar. Yeah,
Correct.
never mind.
Yep. So it's a couple hundred years ago. But yeah, as you round the corner though, each of these cells is unless you want to like strength it open or like break down the iron doors, none of these cells you're getting into until
I think we're
you get to this last one where you see this ghostly image right here.
I think we're better off not angering these spirits anymore. In fact, if we could try to appease them somehow, I think that might be best.
Well, that's what, calculators, we mean you no harm. Like, if we can help them, great. I mean, I don't know what we could do other than try and put them out of their misery of some sort.
Sure.
But
if you get down to the end of the hallway here, you round the corner, you would see the ghostly hands actually reaching through a caged door.
I'll do it.
And you would
Assuming others
see
follow.
an elven-looking face, and it says, "Oh gods, kind faces, Eridan, bless you, noble souls. I ain't seen the jailers in ages. I think they forgot about us. We ain't eaten in days, and the water's all but gone. My cousins are both sick. I swear we'd give back the boar if we could, but we ate it, starving as we was. We didn't even know it was the Baron's lands. Didn't know we was poaching. I beg you, we're all gonna die in here. Kindness, noble souls, kindness. We've suffered awful. Good Baron Sava wills it. And he calls out, and he calls out. But I need you to give me a perception check, Kelgadir.
Oh, sorry. Not that mine would help very much anyways.
Oh boy. You don't realize it, Kelgadir, for a moment. But your stomach starts to feel real empty.
Oh boy.
And your stomach starts to hurt. And all of a sudden you feel like you ain't eaten in days. And you know what?
Yep.
You know what? Who's standing next to you?
Oh boy.
You know who looks delicious? Certain
Reese
wizard.
with all that meat on him.
Now I have food on my person.
Oh, I know. But that guy looks real
God,
good.
all skin and bones. Reese
He
over there
looks-
is looking real meaty.
He looks real good. He looks real good. Something to gnaw on. And I'm gonna have you roll a will save, not to try and eat your friend.
Does it happen to be a divination?
No, it's a haunt.
Okay, just making sure because I get a bonus to divination. Let's see. All right, come on. Oh, fuck me.
You feel the need to try and bite him. Roll an attack roll.
The need to feed.
Don't bite me.
All right,
If he rolls a nat 20, I'm gonna lose my shit. It's
Oh
20.
my!
It's not a net 20.
Roll
It's
a
not nat 20.
D3 plus half strength.
The dirty 20.
F strength. Okay, so plus would it be 2? I guess.
Oh my lord. So, Epicus, you're standing there. You see Kelgadir. He starts to kind of mumble to himself about being hungry, and then he turns to you, and all at once, in a swift action, lunges at you, literally taking a bite out of your shoulder blade. Like out of your shoulder, like he gets some meat and gnaws on it. The instant it happens, Kelgadir, you realize with horror you are tasting your friend and spit it out, and the haunt dissipates from you, but the damage is done.
He kind of spins off of him, stumbling back. Damn it, right? Get him off me!
I went
Yeah.
through all the trouble of making sure I had a freaking barbarian with a +6 to my will save, and I still failed. What happened?
Tastes faintly of
Yep.
iron.
I mean, well, I won't spoil it, but it's not the first time he's tasted human flesh.
Oh god. You hear the ghost again calling out, "Please, kind sirs, please, just a bit of food. That's all I ask for. Please, we're starving. Hadn't eaten in days.
I will-
Days."
Yeah, I have food I can give you,
Do you
but don't do that
offer-
again.
Do you offer
Yes.
the ghost food?
Yes, I have a bunch of like trail rations. I will offer them food.
You pass through the iron gate, this trail rations, and thinking they might just fall through his hands, they touch his hands and they turn ghostly immaterial as well. He begins to eat them. His face turns to an expression of gratitude, and then he slowly dissipates before your eyes. The temperature in this entire chamber raises up a good 15 degrees, and it doesn't feel quite as unearthly cold in here.
Okay. Sorry about the shoulder thing. That's
Fine, you couldn't do anything about it.
well, yes. I mean, I could
Yes.
make it be stronger. The flesh is weak. But
His flesh certainly is. Leaking half of his lifeblood down the front of his red robes.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. So you
Yeah.
have this chamber here. I'm going to have everyone, if you get down to this chamber, make perception checks on this larger of all of the
yeah, I will.
dungeon doors. This definitely
okay.
seems different here.
I'll take a step in, I guess, because I was entreating with this spirit. Oh, I just wish she would have asked me for some jerky first before, trying to make me eat my friend.
Haunts aren't nice like that.
I know. I've played Giant Slayer. I know, but
So across the way, right in the center of this chamber, you notice there is an additional secret door on the other side of this chamber. The door itself was unlocked as you stepped into it, Kelgadir.
okay. Well, that might explain the thing in the wall. That might be, the interior chamber. So kind of put 2 and 2 together. So stack up both doors. Do you think this could be the wall the thing in the wall that
And Epicus just kind of looks up from his shoulder. What?
Magic in the wall.
Looking a little bit pale. I mean, it looks about the right location.
Calculator just taps him on the face like, come on, get it together. It's just but a scratch. For that 4 damage I bit you with my human teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You bit him.
I would say that's worse because like if it's like fangs or sharp teeth, it sucks. But human teeth are pretty blunt. That's like
Yeah, human teeth are awful.
It's more
That sucks.
tearing
It's like a
than like
monster.
carving.
yeah, exactly.
Not good.
And the
Wasn't
human
great.
mouth is filthy.
It's gross.
And he's just skin and bones. So think of that. You
I
gotta
am.
pull it off the
I'm all
bone.
bones.
It's like a shitty chicken wing.
He did attack a man with bones. God,
You bit a man's bones.
horrible.
What's wrong with
horrible.
All right. So we got the door. I mean, nothing to it but to do it, right?
I love it.
Epicus is standing well back. He is not in good shape.
So does this door seem unlocked or is it
That
like
is
Bart-
the
like, what is-
exact same door, the secret doorway that you use to get into this chamber. It's that pressure plate. You push, kind of gives you a handhold, and you're able to slide it to the
Okay.
right.
So if I can, get a good grip on it, and then whichever way that door slides, he's gonna like be on that. He's gonna pull it as hard as he can, and like try to get, to the door frame, and
Sure.
not just be standing in the freaking open.
Yes, one of my classic maneuvers is to have one of my PCs open the doorway and have a bunch of guys on the other side with bows and ready to actions.
Yeah, or like
I was gonna say, can I ready an action? with-
Absolutely.
Don't
Do
worry,
you have any-
I'll die down here.
Down the long hallway, you guys notice this room ends. In the room at the end of this narrow corridor is a strange metallic contraption of gears and change. A large lever extends out 45-degree angle at the front of it, and inside of this metal contraption, you see what appears to be a tiny ball of lightning dancing around through the gears. Knowledge the planes check. Anyone that has it. That, Epicus, is a small lightning elemental that appears to be kind of intertwined with this device.
Will inform the group. It might be using some sort of power. I've heard the Thessalonians did that with more fiendish creatures.
I guess we could go inspect it.
Looks like it's bound. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
Well, let's.
Is there any reason to let it out?
Well, I mean, I want to go look at the mechanism itself. I mean, if it's bounded within a thing, right? I mean,
Elementals are neither good nor evil. It might take it out on us if we let it out.
true. But if
Might
it's
not
bound,
show-
if it's bound, we should be able to go just look at it. I mean, it can't do anything, right?
Yeah, Epicus
So
would not at that. I'm saying it might
Okay.
not express gratitude the same way that we might think is logical.
Okay.
Does anyone have
I would-
knowledge engineering? And Keldir charges into the room.
I walk up, but yeah, I do have knowledge engineering actually
Go ahead
because
and roll
he's
knowledge engineering on this mechanism.
he's a smithy boy, so I figured it
I've,
would come in use.
I've actually got that as well.
Yeah, go ahead and roll,
Uh,
both of you.
Or I mean, I could do. Well, I was gonna say profession smith, but yeah, engineering works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 13.
Boom! Rikus and Keldir working together, your heads clanging. You realize this mechanism appears to be some sort of, perhaps it like extends a drawbridge or some sort of large device. It functions somewhere deeper inside of the dungeon to either open a gate or extend a bridge of some kind. And the way that it's positioned, this is likely, if your path leads deeper in, this device likely is something that you should pull. You're not exactly sure what it does, but just the way it's positioned,
Oh.
it's probably important.
Can we tell by I don't know if it's gears or anything like how like when the last time this might have been used? Because I'm assuming if it's been used and it's got some type
Hundreds
of
of years
mechanism.
ago.
Okay, so
Hundreds
it's
of
like
years ago.
yeah. Okay.
That is correct.
Well,
On 3.
Kelgadir, as you get up into the room, you get to about right here. The lightning elemental starts to react, jumping around, sparking from gear to left, right, up and down. It seems very agitated. Give me a sense motive check.
I don't speak Auran.
since motive, it's pissed. Yeah, 8.
You think it might be a little angry, but you're not sure.
Yeah. What gave it away? Yeah, I mean that seems like as good as you can look at it. Okay, if I was trapped in a magic ball, I would be pretty pissed too. I mean, that's understandable. like you said, pull the lever.
As you reach towards the lever, the ball of energy lashes out at you and is going to take a quick swing. Let's see what happens. You can still pull the lever, but it's going to try and get you. 13 touch attack.
Oh, against touch.
Yes.
Make sure my rage is on. Yeah, that hits me. Oh,
Ouch. Takes 7 points
Oh.
of electricity
Oh.
damage. But you manage to grab onto the lever, and as you do so, your whole arm has gone numb. You pull the lever, the gears begin to spin. As they begin to spin, the elemental itself seems to be sucked into the grinding gears. You hear this crackling sound like a Tesla coil. If you've ever seen those giant Tesla things, the lightning's all staticky everywhere, that's what it
Mhm.
sounds like. And the elemental seems to get sucked into the mechanisms, and they start to glow with this blue energy. But the elemental seems no longer to be a threat. And you hear this very loud grinding noise from off to the left-hand side, close to where that bird was. And it sounds like either a platform or a gate being opened. There's a very loud, ancient kind of grinding sound of metal on stone.
I imagine, he grabs onto this lever, and it's like if you, in real life, you grab onto something that's shocking the shit out of you, you can't really let go of it. So he's
Yep.
just like, well, fuck it, and just,
All in.
pulls it down. It's like, I'm going to get shocked. Might as well just make it work. But he's not looking great. He's like, just like, yes,
Perhaps we should rest before we.
yes, perhaps we should. I do not feel the best. I've been blown up, shocked, hit with flaming boot. Still covered in blood,
Back
beard
to
smoking
town
a little bit.
or in here? Do we tell? And if we go back to town, do we tell the sheriff and mayor about all the kobolds?
We definitely should alert them. Definitely use a drink. I'm fine. Whatever. I can
Don't
just
worry about
sleep
inciting a
right.
panic.
Yeah.
I just, I hate to bring this up, but if we've opened something deeper in this place and we leave, there could be nothing between a sleeping town and whatever's down there.
That's true.
So, as much as I hate to say it, I think we need to camp here.
Well, we've got a perfectly good spot. One door. We can close it, bar it, whatever. Should be fairly safe.
If I could suggest, go back to where we came in. That's the only way out of this ruin that we know of.
Yes.
And we do have that plate we can place back over the second floor entrance.
Indeed, it would at least give whoever's fastest time to run back to town to warn them, as the rest of us.
Die, I
Well,
would presume.
Well, there's no proof there's even anything down there, but I think it's best to err on the side of caution.
I just want to say that by suggesting that one of us flees and the others stay, your implications seem to be
Well,
death. But that
Don't
regardless,
aren't you priestly types supposed to be just a little more cheery? You're awfully dour for somebody who can heal people with a touch.
you do realize that the clerics of Milani mostly believe that we are reincarnation of martyred saints, right? Death is a part and parcel of the gig.
Then you have nothing to worry about.
I don't think any of the rest of you are strong enough to open the gate. Plus, I believe I am the fastest. I appreciate your sacrifice should it come to it.
Huh. Well,
Outrun my sleep.
well, let's
Up there and
let's
rest.
set some watches and get to sleep.
Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, you're heading back up to the top of the stairs, or the ladder. Very nice ladder, darkwood ladder. You're covering the entrance, and then you're taking a rest inside of the tower. Is that correct?
Yeah, we
Yep.
kind of need to.
Correct.
Glorious.
Hold on. Just wait a minute. Who's wearing armor they can't sleep in? I assume everybody but Epicus.
Yeah, I can't sleep in this.
I'm wearing
Oh.
light armor, so
So I should either go
Okay, so you
first
can,
or last.
okay, so you can sleep in it. No, and okay, Grease is in the best health, and you're wearing armor you can't sleep in, right, Chris?
I'm wearing leather armor.
Oh, you're wearing leather? Okay, and you can sleep in yours. So then it is Rikus.
Rikus can't sleep in his armor. Yeah.
Well,
I think
Rikus doesn't need to sleep because I'm using one of the 2 scrolls I have prepared. A scroll of Keep Watch. so you don't need to sleep. You can do no activity for the night. So you can just do normal camp things,
Mhm.
and you don't need to sleep.
Well,
If we
excellent. That's
get an
beautiful.
encounter, you will need to
Oh.
sleep after that.
I'll wake you up.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure he would do plenty of screaming.
As you all
Yeah, you guys should probably.
settle in for the evening, you have your small talk, you jibber jabber a little bit. Would anyone like to have any conversation with one another? You've all kind of set up camp in that small chamber. You can still smell the mustiness. You have that heavy magical iron like grate over top of that door. But I leave the scene to you guys for a little bit as you kind of rest up in that area.
I wonder if anybody in the party speaks Orcish.
I do not.
How do you inquire about that?
Because by making a statement to himself, sort of in a just almost under his breath, but still loud enough for everybody to hear in Orcish, so very harsh and guttural, but the translation would be, all this because one man couldn't pay a debt.
Appius would kind of look at him and say, what? In Orcish.
Oh, I didn't realize anybody else here spoke it.
Would you like a list?
No, it's one of two that I know. No, I was just saying that, well, we ended up in this town after our caravan job, basically destitute and desperate for any sort of work, and now here we are because one man didn't pay his taxes.
All of us half dead, except for Grease over there.
Well,
speaking of which, Cleric Lucas, do you have anything to help us? The three of us are in bad shape.
Well, Kelgadir is clearly in the worst condition, although, and he looks over at Epicus' shoulder. Do you want me to heal him?
I think we should. Do you get your spells back at dawn? Yes.
How many
Yes.
did you use all your channels?
No, I actually have two more.
I'd say channel before
Yeah.
we sleep.
That
I
was
think
what I was thinking as well.
I think we should consume our resources before we restore them.
For sure.
So D6 and another D6.
Okay. So that puts me
No need for any more.
yeah, that puts me
The
just
first one.
it puts me at 13 to 14, which is better than the 1 to 14.
And then
I
with
was
a
at
full
with the
night's
sleep.
rest, I always give my players a full night's rest is your
Level plus
level
con.
plus your con modifier. So you should heal up pretty quickly.
I should have raged before I sleep. I would have got more health back.
Rage sleeping.
You're rage sleeping. I do that all the time.
You're
So mad that I gotta go to
God
bed.
damn it! You're just now you're just in a sleep. God damn it!
Burning skeletons, your dumb
Bullshit.
kobolds.
Oh, I mean, well, to be fair, Calgary to get knocked the fuck out, and he doesn't drop rage when he drops unconscious, so he can do that.
Secretly
but yeah.
angry.
Not just I was born pissed off. Yeah, no, I'm back up to 13 to 14, so it's pretty good.
So in response to Epicus' request for further healing from the cleric, I think that Lucas is just going to look at him and ask in Celestial, did you have a good conversation with Rehus?
Do I have it? Damn! I took Pathfinder Latin instead of Celestial. I took Atlanti instead of Celestial.
And then as the quizzical look on his face, Lucas is then just going to switch to common and say, so how do you like it when people are talking in languages that you don't understand?
I kept it brief for a reason.
Well, it's really rather impolite. That's all.
I was talking to myself.
Appius does not feel like he's in the wrong here. He said about 3 lines to the guy. I was like, all right, that's enough of that. And they can't understand us.
Calgary just goes, will you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to sleep here. He doesn't give a shit. He feels like garbage.
And
So-
in Celestial, he's just going to mutter, oh, the irony of that statement.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah. And Rikus will move to here and just sort of maybe sit on or lean against one of these probably just filthy ancient cots.
Mm-hmm.
Just to watch, just to keep an eye out.
Rikus, since you are awake, as everyone else begins to bed down for the evening, it's quiet, other than the small shifting of the ground around, the occasional skittering of some large insect, but they never get close enough to see. As you are resting, you begin to hear this almost sounds like a lullaby that you start hearing. And it is, well, it's an old lullaby. It's one of my favorites, and it's sung in a small child's voice. And it says, "Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies.
Rikus is immediately gonna go to Lucas and kick him.
Down.
Oh,
Get up! Wake up! Wake up!
As
It's like,
Lucas stirs awake, Lucas, you hear the second line. The king has sent his daughter to fetch a pail of water, a tissue, we all fall down.
That doesn't sound good.
it doesn't. I think that's a human nursery rhyme. Have you ever? Why do they disturb their children so? What is it about humans and their nursery rhymes and poems and the psychological damage they inflict on their children?
They contain lessons and morals about what to do and what not to do in certain situations.
I think that's a song about a plague. Is
Yes,
the lesson that you should
it
die
is.
in a plague?
No, it's the don't get sick in the first place.
So who all hears this?
Just the two of them that are
just the
awake.
two of them. Okay.
Yeah.
You hear some giggling coming from deeper in the cells.
See,
Sounds like a
I-
small child. The giggling seems to echo down the hallway and seems to move its way towards the bird room. And you hear just a caw. You hear a childlike giggle.
Just, what if if there are children down here and they go into the bird room, then
It's not a child. It's one of the haunts. Clearly.
well,
The victims of torture are not merely adults, I'm sure.
that's okay, grim, and also chances that it's a real child are low, but not zero.
Yeah, it's a child.
Are you seriously suggesting that you want to investigate this?
If it's a child, even if it isn't, I have to know.
Very well. Do you want to wake the others then?
I feel like they'll all give me the same answer that you did, or the same opinion.
Well, the answer was yes. I'm going to go with you.
Perhaps
Your
perhaps
comments
we
about
should.
generosity in the inn, although they were radically different from this situation, I think we're in agreement.
Are
with
you,
that. Fine.
You're not just going with me because I bought you stew.
No, but generosity, it's a
Charity.
principle that we can both respect.
Fidelity.
Selfless love, if you will.
Right. Okay. Well, Rikus is gonna go over and just root everybody. Just poke everybody like a toe in the ribs.
You're gonna get
Hey.
an arrow shaft this far from your
I was
face.
gonna say, you should go up and shake Calgadir's shoulder. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
Gris
happened?
was in a location where he could, if something even remotely made noise by that door, he could put an arrow
All
in
right.
that direction.
Calgadir's
Well-
asleep with his axe, over, like this. It's just like.
So okay, so I have a question then for Grizz specifically. So you're facing the door, which Rikus is standing in front of, and if you hear anything like Rikus moving in the night because he doesn't have to sleep, you'll shoot an arrow at him. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, I'm listening for the door specifically.
That's
I'm not.
specifically what I heard as the game master. So I'm gonna need you to make an attack. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Whip.
No, yeah, I think
The
yeah,
flip.
Rikus will just yeah, he'll rouse everybody. Perhaps seeing how tense everybody is, he'll just use his words. So get up.
As fate would have it, you all awaken, and you've had your full night's sleep. This was deep into the night. It was almost after about an 8-hour rest. So that's what we're gonna say this was. But Rikus, you've heard this childlike giggling, this song about ringing around the rosies. What do you tell to your compatriots?
I hear a child's voice in the bird room, coming from the direction of the bird room. Yes, I know it's likely not a child, but I think we have to make sure.
Would have had to walk past you to get down here, but it could have come up from deeper inside, though I don't think that means it's a village child in that case.
Likely not, but
Epicus stands up, prestidigitates his robe, the grime off of his robes, straightens them, and then puts his hand on his sword as that's his only resource.
and you know, if it's possible that the bird room is the entrance deeper into this place.
I'm not so
We
worried
can-
about
we
the
can-
bird room as I am about not having any spells.
You have your spells back. You have rested.
Oh,
It's long rest, so I'm good.
I'm not that horrible of a game master. Just like 60%.
Just pretty bad.
What?
Thank you
Rikus,
for noticing.
What did you hear?
I heard a ring around the rosy.
What is that?
It's a human.
You know, the
lullaby,
nursery rhyme. Lullaby, nursery rhyme.
whatever.
You city folk are all so weird. We in the mountains, we teach our children about the bears, and that's just because a lot of them get eaten by bears.
I grew up right next to the mountains. That's objectively false.
And in cities, apparently humans teach their children about plagues because they get killed by plagues.
Well,
Get
that's
eaten by
that's a concern in the city.
Yes, well,
exactly.
we don't do nursery rhymes. It's like be careful and quiet, or the bears will get you. Not to make them sleep. It's because there's actually bears. Like that's a thing.
I unfortunately have to go with Calgadir on this one. I've never heard of this before. in my life.
Nursery rhymes. This is the most civilization I've ever been around. Quite honestly,
seeing that the cleric has healing well and truly under control, Epicus is going to memorize a second color spray today.
We teach them about bears because they get eaten by them.
well, you know, because people be like, oh, you go to bed, or the such and such will get you, whatever. It's like, no, just be quiet because the bears will get you because there's bears. That's a thing in the mountains. Like we deal with like bears and predators.
They're huge, and you have little tiny legs. You can't run from a bear. It's gonna eat
Epicus,
you.
Epicus will confirm that bears live in mountains. Sometimes, some of them.
That is true.
Not all of
cap
them.
bears. No cap bears in mountains.
So, Rikus,
Yeah.
you're wanting to go into the room with the bird that tried to enter my mind, and
No, I don't want to go,
I'll tell you what it sounds like. It sounds like he volunteered.
but I feel
Bar-
like somebody has to go.
Bear
And
will.
if somebody has to go, then it may as well be me.
are you going in that room?
Just whatever happens. To hell with it.
Where's your wallet?
And he'll begin. Oh no, that goes with me to the grave.
Did anyone not have food? Does anyone not have trail rations on their sheet?
I have plenty.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we all
I-
pretty much started.
Nope.
with some
I just
food.
I want to make sure that everyone has them because Epicus would not be eating, then sending his frontline combatants out there on an empty stomach.
No, yeah,
Is
I,
this snack?
his
Is we're
meat
gonna go
shields.
kill a bird. Here, have a little bit of trail mix for yourself.
put extra raisins in there because I know you like them.
Because I know you like them.
Yes. I'll eat both the jerkies. You can have both the hardtacks. It's
No,
fine.
no chalky,
It's
because I know
fair.
it gives you a sore tummy. All right, let's move on.
Let's Guess we're going to kill a kid, then just kill a bird or something. Whatever. Let's go.
Oh my
I
lord.
don't think
Not killing the kid, but whoever said. Oh boy.
Algadir's very much of the opinion that it's not going to be. It's a trap.
But here's the thing: the guy who gave a piece of bread to a ghost to put it at peace.
Because I didn't want it to make me try and eat anyone else.
Well, just don't eat anybody in the first place.
can I check to see if I hear either a child or
Oh, you don't need to make a
The
perception
bird.
check. You hear a giggling from that room.
All right, you know what? This is probably a bad idea.
No shit, Sherlock. Write that down in a memo and title it something we already know.
do I hear anything that the birds say?
No, you only hear the child's giggling.
All right, so Rikus is going to just sort of sidle up here
There's
and
a bird.
try to sneak a
It
peek.
is opening its beak, and it sounds like a child giggling from that bird's mouth. Oh, look!
Oh.
Back again! Back again!
Should shot that fucking bird.
Come to ply my trades. Sit in any chair. Lay in any rack. Never more.
All right, let's go find where the damn pathway down is.
I mean, we've essentially searched everywhere, right? I mean, this is the
Stupid
only room
bird.
left.
We
Stupid
heard
bird
something
got me.
opening.
Yeah, we heard
All
something
right.
opening, but I mean, we've searched everything.
Rikus. Give me a
Yeah.
will save, please.
Awesome.
Do it.
Here we go.
Oof, Rikus. Let me ask you this. If Rikus didn't have a choice and wanted to sit in one of these horrible torture devices, which one would Rikus choose?
Can you just what's the most
Oh
heinous
yeah, you
looking
got
one?
yourself a Iron Maiden, you got a Brazen Bull, you got some iron chairs with sharp edges, you got a wooden table upon which there are various implements.
You know what? I gotta go with the classic and say the Iron Maiden.
Oh my god. Oh yes.
Oh.
So Rikus, uncontrollably, you lunge your way down the hallway. Take off at a full sprint. You run towards that Iron Maiden. And I'm going to give everyone else a chance to stop him, but he is going for it.
Okay, I would attempt to grapple.
You can go do so, but because you're 5 feet away from him, you're going to take a slight minus because you're lunging past everyone else, but everyone else can attempt to grapple as well. Matthew, I see your finger up.
Yeah, I mean, I as soon as I saw him start to bolt, and
Yes.
I would attempt to grab him and pull him back.
Go for
but,
it.
Yeah. So what is grapple? It's an attack, and then it's my post CMB, right?
Yep, just roll a CMB check. It's on your attack sheet.
Yep.
Attack tab.
Let's do it.
That? I think that
Yeah,
does
it's
it.
not great.
That meets. He grabs him. Lucas misses. Oh, Kelgadir had a minus though because he's far back, so that actually doesn't connect.
Yeah, well,
That's
shit.
unfortunate. Anyone else trying to grab him? Gris, you going for it?
Yeah.
I believe so much. I want you to fail so bad. I love you, Aaron.
Let's do this.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Where's my CMB on
It's
this?
under your defenses.
Why did you have to choose the Iron Maiden? You
Yeah,
crazy
it's probably
son
the
of a
it's probably the
Because
worst one.
it's like because we had that thing in the other Iron Maiden up at the top there. I want to see what's in this one too, like on a
So
sadistic
amazing.
level.
Oh, it's partly open. You can see what's inside. It's nasty spikes.
Spikes.
Oh man.
Why is
You
that
really
not one
feel
to
like
roll?
you want to plunge one of your hands into that spike, though. It just feels
You're
like
gonna-
that's a great idea.
You should have CMD above your attack section.
Yep.
On your sheet.
CMB, so it's your base attack plus your strength.
It's under your defenses tab. By under your AC.
Yeah. Well, that's your CMD. You want your CMB for attack.
Oh, B.
It should be right beside it though. I think they're right beside each other.
CMB. There it is.
Oh, Rikus, you could feel all these hands just grabbing onto you. All of you get just a bit of his cloak, but he rushes past, and you're like, yes! The bird starts giggling like a schoolgirl again. And Rikus, as you plunge your way deep into the center of the room, you take your right hand. Wait, what's your dominant hand for your character?
Let's say
Right hand. Take your right hand and you plunge it straight through one of the spikes of the Iron Maiden. It goes right through the palm of your hand, out the backside, breaking the bones. You take a whopping 3 points of damage. Your hand is all but useless in this moment until it gets some magical healing, and the blood seems to drip out and then become absorbed by the Iron Maiden, seeping into it like a dry rag into a bucket of water. Just seeps into it. The bird above begins to cackle. Just a little blood. Just a little blood. The door is open. The door is open. And from behind him, over in the corner, a secret door slides open, revealing an additional passageway.
So have I like snapped back to my own
Yes, you
senses?
are back to yourself, and your hand hurts like a mother.
Oh, what the hell happened? Oh, it was a bird.
Yeah.
Ow. My hand really hurts.
Can I attempt to identify this bird? Is it an actual creature or is it
You
a hunt?
absolutely can. This bird appears to be made of flesh and bone.
Would that be a knowledge of nature?
Oh, yeah, we go with nature first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a normal bird.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
We planes,
You go with plains.
religion.
Plains, I like
All right.
plains. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm really good at that.
You know what's crazy? You recognize that this bird is an imp in disguise. That's a 29 on knowledge to plains. Yeah, this is an imp in disguise. But it seems delightfully uninterested in the rest of you now.
All right. Well, Epicus will say in Orcish, that's a devil.
he just said it was a devil.
Squawk! And with that, with him saying out loud, he said it was a devil, the imp seems to, well, kind of change slightly. And as it changes slightly, it reveals itself to look a bit more like this.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
great, not nice. And in that instance, it disappears, seeming to go invisible.
I put step color spray.
Do it.
I'm marking spell off.
I love it. The color spray goes off in the exact area that it was just standing. As that happens, it's going to make a quick will save. And you know, imps,
Probably pretty good at those.
not terrible, not great,
No.
but not terrible.
Probably about a 50-50.
It's 50-50. Let's see what happens. This one's got a little bit better than normal. 16?
16 is what it needs.
Oh, you see the outline of the creature kind of absorbed by the color, but nothing seems to happen. Nothing seems to happen.
Epicus puts his back to Gris and kind of draws his lips up into a pursed expression.
The room falls silent.
Is the door open?
The door
Are
is
the doors
open.
open?
Yes, the door is open, revealing the additional passageway. That is correct.
Rikus, put yourself in one door. Calgadir in the other. And Epicus slowly makes his way to the corner of the room and begins to detect magic. Assuming they listen.
Yeah,
Can you-
sure.
Can you point the other door out to me because I just
I
don't
think-
see-
I think it's-
Absolutely. I'm going to
okay.
go ahead and actually draw a shape for you. Do one of these, we do one of these, we do one of those. The doorway is right there. Can you see it?
Negative.
Oh, I drew
Nope.
it on the GM layer like some sort of noob game master. There it is. I reveal it to you, good sir.
Is it already open, or
It
is
is
it just
open.
revealed?
It is open, and you can see through it and walk through it. It is opened.
Well,
Epicus, you're detecting small amounts of magic from some of the torture implements. They may be magically enchanted to deal additional torture damage, but there is no sign of an imp.
if it like
Imps?
plane shifted or something.
With my knowledge of planes, can I ask questions about imps?
Absolutely, you can.
Spell-like abilities.
Invisibility at will. Self only.
That's it?
They can do detect good, detect magic, augury, suggestion once a day, and they can also commune once a week.
All right. I wanted to confirm my own knowledge that they can't do greater teleport at will like a lot of devils can.
No. They can also turn into change shape at will as well. They can be boars, giant spiders, rats, ravens.
The question is, did Calgadir and Rikus listen to him? Is the question. Are they trying to block the doors?
Oh, I'm Calgadir standing by the door with his axe, like ready to lop off anything that
Yeah,
comes through.
Like
Nothing
you-
appeared. Nothing
Yep.
seemed to happen. You didn't hear anything go by. Nothing.
I've got an arrow knocked.
Stand
and
in the door.
How tall is this? How tall is the ceiling in this room?
Not tall enough to where Epicus's detect magic would have missed him.
Okay.
Okay, he's gonna concentrate for 3 rounds to determine number of auras and then type and what do you call it?
3 auras. It is all enchantment magic to empower these weapons. And
Okay, so I'm not getting any illusion from
no illusion
invisibility.
from them at all. No, but you do pick up these 3 torture implements, and with a quick analysis of them, you think they could be worth to the right buyer 400 gold total.
Okay.
If you want to sell torture implements, I don't know if you want to, but
Look, people into some weird shit.
The imp's gone.
Yes. Well, we've got a door. Got a direction to go.
Right.
Let's get this over with.
as you make your way down this passageway, it curves to the left, goes down a ways and to the left again. You'll eventually make your way down to where you hear a sizzling kind of pool of sludge. The floor drops away here. The corridor turns east through a 7-inch wide ledge, continues along the south wall. That ledge is actually about 2 feet wide here. You notice that the ledge appears to have recently extended. You'll see I have some black kind of walkway set up there. That's the ledge that you extended. You realize with those engineering checks, that's what you extended down in this kind of southern area down here. I'll actually maneuver you guys over yonder so you can see it. But that appears to be the direction you need to head.
Right.
Is this still kind of that mossy earth that we were walking on?
Yes, all of the ground is still the same. Correct.
Can I do a check for tracks?
Absolutely. In fact, you don't even need to make a check. There are plenty of kobold tracks that make their way along these hallways that you find yourselves in now. These long hallways here, all the way down to another door that's down to the south area, just at the bottom of the map that's been revealed.
Do I see any wizard boot prints?
You do indeed see some wizard boot prints that look to go in. They do not look to come out.
Need to get some of those.
Yeah, you need to get your boots with Epicus on the bottom of them.
Oh, wizard
Classic.
boots.
That would be funny. You wear another man's boots. So there was a man named Epicus that went this way. They'll never expect you.
Lucas, you would notice as you entered into this additional hallway that cold kind of you're being watched feeling doesn't appear to extend into these hallways. It seems concentrated in that prison area.
I would just relay that to the rest of the group that this seems to be the extent of the haunt.
On we go.
I would be pointing the tracks out to everyone in the group.
And if you hadn't extended the ramp, then this would be a very difficult climb check to get around this area. But with the new extended ramp, you can make your way around this green sludge with 0 risk of falling into it and taking 5d6 acid damage. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Ooh.
So
all
good
right.
job.
So we make our way all the way to the ramp at
You
least.
make
right?
your way all the way to the ramp over here.
Okay. So we've.
And you can make your way through it and around the corner without any issue.
So.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the next long hallway.
I keep trying to move my token out from under other tokens. I keep moving the token on top of me.
That happens. We're all going to the same place. It's
It
fine.
happens.
All right. As you make your way down to this additional hallway, and I'm going to go ahead and move the map down. I'm going to show you this additional map. You're actually going to be all the way down at the end of this additional corridor. The ground here seems a little less mossy, a little less rotten and filthy. In fact, it seems to have been traversed a little bit more regularly. You see the sign of these kobold tracks along this long passageway. But as you make your way down, you eventually come to this doorway. And inside of the doorway, you see there is a small barred window pierces the iron door at the end of this hall, revealing a plain 10-foot square room with a windowless iron door on the opposite wall beside it. The door itself, it actually begins to speak. You hear a voice from the door, and the voice says, "Please close the door before proceeding with the passphrase."
Huh.
These Baron Sarva wills it.
The magic mouth seems to, well, dissipate. There's a little bit of gold fringe and magic that kind of etches its way along the wall, and you watch as that doorway swings open, revealing a 10 by 10 foot room. And you realize, if you make perception checks, what you just bypassed.
Speak friend and enter.
Well, at least we didn't have to eat 10 crunchy chicks in front of it.
Kelgadir, that room had a very nasty 40-foot spike pit in it. And if you likely didn't say that passphrase, well, you would have fallen into it as you entered into that room with no escape out of it.
Is there anything at the bottom of the pit, Trap?
Nothing other than some old bones, as it were, from someone who didn't know the passphrase.
Bones.
That son of a
bones.
bitch, naked, bone-having person.
Well, I don't think he was naked when he fell down there.
Gentlemen, I don't want
then
to.
there would be things other than bones down there.
I don't want to scare you, but you have a skeleton inside you right now.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
On the other side, you see a very strange contraption. It appears to be guarding
I was
the
much more
passageway.
worried.
Appears to be guarding the passageway. And I would need a knowledge arcana check, please, on this creature.
If I must.
Ah,
this is good.
This appears to be a clockwork servant. They are four-armed, kind of mechanical golems. And they are made for various things. Guarding, being little servants, helpers. This one appears to be guarding the passageway that leads deeper into the dungeon.
I'm going to tell you right now, I can't do anything about that.
Beat the shit out of it.
I could not do anything about that.
I could beat the shit out of it.
There you go.
Rickus, you have some experience with things like that, as I understand it.
What? I grew up on a farm.
With that mechanical device earlier on, you.
I mean, I don't. That was a couple of flywheels and it just sort of looked like a mill to me.
So we're going with Calgadir's plan then.
Well, we could attempt to identify what its orders are. It's a golem, after all.
Did we? I mean, is it possible that it won't try to kill us?
We could possibly try and parlay, and then if it disagrees, well, we'll just disagree with its disagreement aggressively.
Considering it's standing in that hallway, I think it's logical to assume that its orders are to prevent people from going down that hallway.
Well, maybe not all people.
Maybe it'll
Maybe
take
it
maybe it takes a
very
freeze.
useful hallway otherwise.
I mean, his words worked on the door. Maybe it'll work on that thing. It's worth a shot.
Be my guest, Epicus.
Epicus is going to step forwards. Does the thing appear to be able to speak? With the knowledge engineering, knowledge arcana.
Present family crest for passage.
Did we do the daggers bear a crest?
They do.
Ho ho!
This guy.
God, 2 puzzles in a row? I'm not normally this guy.
But you are today.
I
Using
am
one of the
today,
daggers,
apparently.
you watch as the golem buzzes and whirls, walks over, reaching out. It grabs the dagger, pulling it back, looking at
It's
it.
being taken. I called it.
It then whirls back, handing you the dagger. Crest acceptable, you may pass, and then it steps to the side mechanically. But it allows you to pass unhindered.
Huh.
Loud breathes
I
heavily,
forgot we even
accepting
had
the dagger
daggers.
back.
Gris would whisper to Epicus.
Stop
'cause
trying to make me take your dagger, Blau. I just want you guys to have a nice dagger. Jeez, oh, peace.
he doesn't understand how golems work. He just kind of whispers to Epicus, do we all need to show him the dagger?
I think you're with me now.
Yes. He just sits there with me, and we go. It's like going to a tavern, the fancy, whatever. I just
Yeah,
The
Epicus is
fancy
gonna
taverns
stand
with, like passphrase and stuff.
yes. Yeah. Okay.
in the precipice of the hallway and wait for them to walk past and see if they get clobbered.
Mechanical
He did-
Golem does not make any other movements, and it seems to whirl back to being, well, unmoving. Whirls down.
Calculator walks by. He's like, so. She walks. It keeps going. All
I
right.
go around the corner, arrow nocked, in case
And
there's.
As you round the corner, you see
by.
that the doorway into this next chamber is open. And the next chamber, well, it's very interesting. The area along the south wall is enclosed in a cage of thick iron bars that extend from floor to ceiling. Within the enclosure sits 7 black iron chests. To the north, the stone wall has collapsed, revealing a rough-hewn tunnel beyond.
All right, so we're in that room. I want to check out this iron cage.
Roll 20
Same-
is being a dick.
Yeah, well,
Give
that's
me 1 second,
always.
everyone.
Good old roll 20.
Hold on, I gotta extend the width of this map so that I
Um,
can actually show the people at home. There we go. Now I got it fixed. Boom.
The bird said something before about trying to get us to a treasure, right?
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to look at the construction of the. I mean, well, is there a door first off?
Perhaps this is what the imp bird was
The
after.
cage is actually blocking your passage beyond. There's some rubble
Okay.
over here. But give us a knowledge engineering check.
Could well as it's just so it's just like cast iron bar stuff.
Yeah.
Could I give you a proficient smithing instead?
You know what? I'll allow it. Yes. Ooh. So you're pretty sure you might be able to break through these bars if you get the right leverage. Epicus, give us just a general intelligence check. And everyone else give perception checks, please.
Oh
Gris.
no,
Gris for the
that's
win.
the
Gris
worst.
for the win.
Worst one Calculator's had. Shame.
I think Gris might get the win here. Gris, you notice a small stone impression on the ground. It's dagger shaped.
Vis, you still got that? I assume he gave you the dagger back, right?
You did.
He has 2 of them. Which one do you want?
Gris,
No.
there's 2 dagger impressions on the ground. Who would have thought?
My God.
You
Give me
can't
those
have both
daggers
of
real
them.
quick.
I only
Give me-
offered you one of them. No.
Give me
So
the
much-
dagger.
It's almost like they
Take
planned it this way.
Galgadier is taking some sort of like crowbar or something and getting ready to break the iron bar.
No, he's like stretching. He's just gonna like.
Gris walks over,
Yeah.
placing both daggers into the ground. You feel them clunk in. You turn them to the left and right, respectively. Tiny little things close over the daggers, and they shut off.
They're taking our daggers.
Calm down.
I didn't do that. I didn't do
They
that.
continue to spin, and then they open back up, revealing the daggers, and the iron bars drop back down, revealing 7 treasure chests for your perusing.
Perusal.
To appease the angry comb over mage, can I pick the daggers back up?
You absolutely
Or are they
can.
gone?
What?
They are absolutely
Comb-
there.
He's bald.
Angry
comb
comb
you
over
got
mage.
like 3. You got like 3.
Oh, I've got
Like
that
3
hair
whole
already.
hairs.
I give this angry
uh,
toddler his daggers back.
Epicus is going to go ahead and detect magic on the set of chests to make sure we're not.
All
walking into a symbol shop.
non-magical, but you find 18,500 copper pieces, 4,000 silver pieces, 115 gold pieces, 14 platinum pieces, and a teak case containing 30 gems. The gems and case are worth 800 gold.
All right, let me list all this shit down.
Perception checks again, everyone, as the iron gates came crashing down. You think you heard some stirring. Ah, yes, you hear some low moaning coming from beyond the cavern beyond. Kind of sounds like. Hunger. And lunging forward as you are all looking at your ill-gotten gains, you see 2 undead-looking creatures come more ape-like, coming running on all 4s. And give us a knowledge religion check, anyone that has it.
I've already got it listed down. Let's just go. Give me a second.
Lucas with the nat 20.
That's
Ooh, nice.
perception. That's a
Perception.
perception.
Knowledge religion is we're
But you would notice, Lucas, that one of these men, well, former men, appears to be wearing a ripped robe. And there's a giant H on the back of his robe. He looks a little
A
wizardy,
giant H.
but he also looks a little
It's like a-
undead in this
It's
moment.
like a Letterman jacket, but just it's a...
Yes.
I like it.
Well-
that looks just like mine, but mine's from Opara. It doesn't have an H on it.
I think we found the people we're looking for.
We're not people anymore. Raises his head.
Yep.
That's a little bit bigoted, but who are we to determine who's a person and who's not?
Oh, crap.
Yes, Calgadir is bigoted against the freaking undead.
Again,
Yeah.
1 second. We'll just...
All right. Is everybody
Sorry.
in the initiative? Let's make sure everybody's
Oh, I
in.
actually rolled the same thing twice. That's good.
Nice. Ghoul,
Um,
Gris, 3, 4, 5, 6.
there we
I
go.
think. Is that everybody?
That's not
Yeah.
me. I had to.
I think Lucas still needs to go. There we go. Excellent. All right.
Oh,
So as
are they intelligent undead? Sorry, you said they're
they
not
are
zombies.
ghouls. They are ghouls.
Okay.
Yes, they are intelligent undead. Then.
I just wanted to make sure
Excuse
my
me.
mind affecting spell wasn't going to go to waste.
The ghoul
It's-
rounds the corner. This one is moving lightning quick. This is the one that does not have the giant H on its back. It's the one still in there. This one appears to be wearing noble robes, but not with giant H's. This one is going to lunge angrily directly towards the first one he sees, which happens to be Calgadir. Calgadir. He's going to attack you. Oh my god!
Oh!
20. Nat 20. That is a confirmed crit. I need you to roll me. I need you to roll me a fortitude save, please.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You are not diseased, but you do take a whopping 12 points of damage.
Ooh!
This ghoul,
Oh.
galloping on all fours, more bestial than it is humanoid, lunges towards you, its jaw unhinges unnaturally wide, as though it is a serpent of some kind, and it just drives its whole mouth onto your shoulder, its lower jaw bearing into the chest, the back jaw bearing into your back, and its teeth sink in. They're razor sharp. Its claws wrap around your back, and it is lunged onto you and is just trying to consume you whole. It hurts.
Yeah.
Chris, there's a ghoul. What would you like to do about that?
I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna shoot good.
You should shoot it good. I recommend that very much.
I'm gonna shoot it good.
Yes, good. Miss Luna is sitting next to me, and she's like, "Why are you trying to kill them? The story's supposed to go on for at least 10 sessions." And I'm like, "Muhahaha." I don't know. That's where we're at.
If you strike me down, I will come back more powerful than you could possibly.
11. Your shot, unfortunately, does go wide. It does go wide. Rikus, there is a ghoul trying to eat your barbarian friend.
Well, it's not... I don't know if I'd say friend, but
Work
You know.
work colleague?
I know him from work.
Woo.
Yeah, let's try to smash this
I believe.
thing.
I believe.
No one wants to hang out with Calgadir until they need to move a sofa.
Aw.
Let's go. Ah,
Oof.
Ugh.
Oof. Oof. Epius.
Epicus is gonna
Nope.
go ahead and what?
oh no, I was just saying it's a no for me.
Okay, Epicus is gonna go ahead and try and move backwards, and realizing that undead are also immune to mind affecting spells, even if they are intelligent, is going to hand the apprentice.
Cry a lot.
Or yeah, he's gonna cry a little bit.
Ooh,
Oh.
which one are you hitting? The
Oh.
one on
Yeah,
Gris?
yeah, the one up close.
Next to them? Okay, perfect. That is
3
3
damage.
damage. Not bad at all. As you slash into its side, carving out bits of undead flesh, they fall off both the clothing that it's wearing that is still fresh and pristine, but its undead flesh falls off. Next up is this ghoul. This ghoul is going to make its way over the rubble, and it's going to have to double move, but it gets up next to that bony-looking wizard. It thinks you're maybe
Oh,
another
no.
ghoul for a second, but then realizes that you are a delicious, delicious person that it can eat. Lucas, there are 2 nasty undead in this room. What would you like to do about them?
I'm actually going to cast Bless over the party to give them that +1 bonus. So I'll
Love
take a
it.
5-foot step over here next to, I guess, actually behind Kelgadir, and then I'll cast Bless.
You
Not a
all
lot of Calgadir
feel
left to be behind.
slightly empowered as this holy magic seems to entwine its way into your very flesh, your very beings. Calgadir, there's a
All right.
ghoul
Yeah.
trying to be your friend.
Just, fight or flight kicks in, just a burning rush through his veins. He will rage.
I believe. Come on.
Damn.
Kill. Kill. Come on, Calgadir.
Oh fuck!
Ugh.
I'm
Question.
not having a
You
good
got a
night.
hero point. Do you want to spend it to re-roll that attack?
Yeah,
I
let's
just
do it.
feel like maybe.
Let's do it. Let's do
You
it.
don't have to.
No, I'm gonna do it. I want to kill something. In fact, Calgadir's not been having a good night, other than some perception checks. So we'll do it. So yes.
Oh, there it is. Calgadir, you bring your axe up, and as you bring it down, the side of the axe hits the ghoul in the head. You knee it in the chest, pushing it back. It tears a bit of your shoulder as it does so, but as it does so, you're able to bring your axe up, bringing it down in a swift strike, carving into the creature's side. You cut through its rib cage into where its heart would have been, and then just drive it to the ground, and it just stops moving all at once. The necromantic energy that was keeping it alive dissipated completely. That is one dead ghoul.
That wonderful sound of as it,
Oh, yeah.
something comes out of flesh. He just
Oh yeah. Gris,
spits on it.
you are up next, my friend.
I'm
That was a
going
good use
to-
of a hero point. I'm just saying.
I know. No,
I was like,
yeah.
you got to do it. Oh, whew.
So bless give me
Plus one to attack.
okay +1 to
And +1 against saves against fear.
Yeah. You can actually go to your
You're definitely at a.
There's a
Add the buff to your
conditions.
yeah. There's a drop
You're
down.
at
You
total
can select
+2
it.
right now from between PBS and bless.
Oh, okay. The other one
Okay.
buffs us too. Okay, I did not know that.
Well, no, PBS is point blank shot.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
He's within 30 feet.
Yeah.
So it'd be that and that, I believe.
Oof.
Unfortunate.
10. Unfortunately, it does go wide. Next up is Rikus.
All right, Rikus will just take a 5-foot step up here and swing. Oh, that's a nat 1.
Ooh, roll to confirm.
All right.
That does not confirm, which is good for you. Epicus, there's a ghoul next to you. It wants to be your friend.
Epicus is going to go ahead and
It
take
asks
full
for
run.
your wizarding message number. It wants to take you out.
He wants your arcane
That's-
digits.
What's your WhatsApp?
Epicus is taking the full round withdrawal.
That is not a bad idea. The ghoul turns to Rikus, seeing a brand new person for it to attack, and starts to swing. It bites and then claws twice at you. The 19, I
One-
assume, hits.
Yeah, the 19 will hit.
You take 3 points of damage, and go ahead and give us a fortitude save, please.
Fortitude.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You just almost
Yeah.
missed it. No ghoul fever for you. So close, yet so far away. I was so
Mhm.
excited. So excited. All right, and next up is Lucas.
I am going to cast Cure Light Wounds on the undead creature.
I
Oh,
love where your
man.
man's at.
I was gonna say just cast it. Cast it on me so I can hit it.
You absolutely can do that. 100%.
That might work better. I don't know. Casting it on it would probably do
You could
better.
also
do more
heal your
damage.
friend as well.
Yeah.
You do have to move up and touch attack it to get the
Oh,
crit
is it a
wounds
touch
off.
attack? Then
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
heal Kelgadir.
So that
Yes.
is a D8
5
plus
points.
levels. That's 5 points. Yes.
5
Beautiful.
points back.
And everyone can give me perception checks in this moment as well, please.
Awesome.
Perception check.
Oh, come on!
Oh, Gris. Kelgadir, hey, there's some scurrying coming from down the hall, and sneaking its way up and around the corner. You guys see a tiny little kobold with a bow,
Oh,
and it's
great.
drawing back on it and looking at your party. And I'm going to go ahead and add in an additional combatant, because that's always fun. Oh, yes. All right. Because when it rains, it pours, my friends. When it rains, it pours.
Yep.
All right. And so Rikus, Lucas just went. Kelgadir is up next.
Calgadir, feeling reinvigorated by the healing of his compatriots, is going to move his fat ass up here and flank the ghoul.
You are provoking attacks of opportunity if you do that. Do you want to risk that? Go for broke, go for broke, go for broke. They rolled a 16. It hits you.
Yeah, it does.
You only take 5 damage.
Okay.
Well,
Fine.
it's just
Only
that's
five.
that's
Fine,
what
not
you just
bad.
got back.
Yeah,
Universal
So-
balance.
Yeah.
It's a net.
Alright.
It's your net 0.
that's 0. That's fine.
All right.
Doesn't
All
matter.
right. So now flanking.
Yes.
So see, I got the Bless on. We got the range. All right. Oh, for fuck's sake.
One day. Roll to confirm. All right, don't confirm. That's good. Rounding the corner, you see this little kobold that looks very surprised to see 4 humanoids in its chamber. And you see it kind of look around, and it actually sees Gris in the back with a bow. And in Draconic, you hear it say,
Me show flesh bag. How real ranger fight.
and it's going to draw back on its bow, and it's going to shoot at Gris. Gris, you see a tiny kobold with a bow shooting at you. How dare you attack a man with bones? It's going to go ahead and make an attack roll on you. 29 is a hit. That is a hit. Wow. This little kobold's, he's dynamite. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
You take 3 points of damage. He plings you. Plings you good. And next up is Gris. You just got shot by a kobold.
I'm gonna shoot the kobold.
Sessarak, kill you! You're not supposed to be here! You wreck all plans!
Still blessed.
It ducks behind a rock. It flings up and over, unfortunately missing.
That's not including your favorite enemy, is it? I don't think it
12
makes a
is
difference.
still
Oh
a
no,
miss.
that wasn't.
Rikus, you're now flanking with your friend. That is a +2 on attacks.
Yeah, and damage, but don't matter.
If you're speaking, Aaron, you are muted.
No, I was not. Sorry, I was
You just want to talk to us.
just
Why do you hate us?
wondering. I was just wondering what it was that I was going to do this turn, but I think I figured it out. I'm going to attack it with my longsword.
It's a good idea.
15 plus the 2 is 17. That is a hit for 8 damage. You carve into the ghoul. It growls, snarling. Bits of undead flesh kind of like falling out of its mouth. Just says, going to eat you. Consume. And it's just being generally displeasant and unpleasant. Displeasing to the eyes. All of these things. Epicus, you're up next.
Epi's just gonna go ahead and try and sleep the kobold that's put an arrow into a little baby arrow into Grease's chest.
Love that. I love that.
Does it have more than 4 hit dice is the question, because otherwise it's immune.
It does not.
All right, well it needs to make a 16 will save.
Oh,
Damn.
it only had a +2.
Damn.
I was really hoping it failed. That would be hilarious. I was really hoping.
I mean
But,
that's not the nature of save or suck.
Yeah. Next up is the ghoul. The ghoul does not like the person that just attacked it, so it is going to swing on the good fighter 3 times. It manages to get in 1 claw and 1 potential crit miss, which does not confirm. But that is an additional 5 points of damage to Rikus as it claws into you once again. It's going for your legs where you don't have it. Your legs are being turned to mincemeat in this moment. Absolute mincemeat. Lucas, things are looking a bit dire for your 2 frontline fighters. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll take a 5-foot move forward and then channel positive energy to try to heal the 3 people around me.
Yes, do it.
So D6.
D6. Ooh, nice. 3 HP. Better than a kick in the teeth. Kelgadir, you're flanking. You're in a great position. You feel the power of Gorm. He calls to you. Crush your enemies. See them drift before you.
Hear the
Hear the
lamentations
lamentations of the women.
Which is odd because he doesn't really believe in the things. He's more of the spirits, like spirits
I
of the
love it.
ancestors kind of
I
guy.
love
He's a primalist. It's kind of his thing. But let's see.
Yes! You bring the axe down right into its back, its spine cracking, and you drive it to the ground once, twice, 3 times. A dead
He just keeps
ghoul.
hitting it. He's just the head. It's just
Yes,
mush. It's just mush.
mush.
He's not having a good day.
Kobold around the corner says,
We kill you! Me kill you, Sessarak kill you, just like old stupid wizard! Tried to screw us! We screw you!
and then it's going to draw back on its bow and continue to shoot at you guys. In fact, this time, it's actually going to go for Kelgadir, because he looks a little wounded, and he looks a little distracted. His first attack is going to go for Kelgadir. That is a 22, which is a hit.
it's gonna hit. Yeah, it's gonna hit.
You take a whopping... And you're human?
Yep.
Right. 6 points of damage.
Oh, and he's
Yikes,
staggered.
he is staggered.
Still in a
Sessarak-
rage.
Sessarak cackles, turning towards... You know what? He's a smart kobold. He is going to put an arrow into the half-orc. Into the half-orc, who is still considered human, I believe.
Yeah, I'm considered both human and
Yeah,
orc
and
for the
that's
purposes
something.
of.
He got 2 attacks. What a man.
Ooh, 13 is a
Nope.
miss, though. 13 does go wide. 13 does go wide.
Gets the shield up.
Cesaract went. Gris, you're up next. There's an angry little kobold over in that corner.
All right.
This angry little kobold has rapid shot.
I reach this. Yes.
Mess him up. Mess him up. I believe Gris. I believe.
24 to hit, 5 damage.
Ooh, that is a hit. You plink it in the shoulder. Cesarac cries out in pain.
Me kill you last! Me kill you last! Feed you own insides!
And it's just being horrible. Rikus, there's an angry kobold that just tried to shoot you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move up here. That is.
It looks
30,
surprised.
Yes, I'm gonna smack him.
Not supposed to be able to move that fast. Not fair. Stay at range.
15 is a miss. It dips below your blow.
All right.
Yes, you're up next.
This is moving 30 feet and is going to color spray diagonally up to miss Rikus.
Yes.
His last spell.
I appreciate that.
Is that a will save?
Yeah, you're
Remind
welcome.
me?
That's a will save.
Oh,
16.
Cesarac. Save or suck,
I'll do it.
baby.
I'll
Oh!
Me kill you. Me feed you to your own. Ooh, pretty colors.
And then the
I don't know how many
light
hit dice it has.
flashes over. It has 3 hit dice.
It is blind and stunned for 1d4 rounds, then stunned for 1 round. I
Oh,
think
it
it's
is
dead.
it is in a bad spot. It is in a bad spot. And realistically, we can play this out,
Oh.
but actually that's only 1 round. So it
Well,
actually
he's also
might-
stunned for 1 round after that. He's down for 2 rounds.
Ooh, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're gonna play it out. The ghoul is dead.
Okay.
Lucas, you're up next. The kobold is like wavering on the side. Its bow in its hand. Its eyes are a little glazed over. Calgadir looks like he's about to pass out.
Yeah, I'm going to actually try to close the distance with the kobold.
I love it. I love it.
So I don't. Can I actually reach it though with the rubble in the way?
Absolutely. It'll take
Okay.
your full movement to get there, but you can't.
Oh, I don't think
Oh,
so.
a double move actually to get there. You can close the distance, but you can't attack.
Could he charge?
You know what? If you give me an acrobatics check,
Yeah, that's not
charge
gonna
through the
happen,
rubble.
So no.
Ah, come
No,
on,
not
come
gonna
on,
happen.
come on, Lucas, Lucas,
Trip,
Lucas,
trip,
Rufio,
fine.
Rufio.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Rudy.
Oh, yeah, at -4. Okay.
Parkour,
fine.
parkour. 13.
Parkour.
You know what? In my head,
That's not bad.
That's with the -4, dude.
I had
That's
a
not
DC.
bad.
I had a DC 10, and I'm gonna allow it because Lucas is going for broke. So you charge in. That's a -2 to AC, but a +2 to attack. Go ahead and make your attack roll on this AC 10 right now. Don't roll 1.
Okay. So Morningstar.
You bop it on the head for 4 damage. It barely moves. Kelgadir, you feel sleepy
Yeah.
and mad.
And mad. Still angry. Still an angry boy.
Kelgadir, come to me. Come to me, my boy.
Oh, God. Wait, who am I coming to?
Epicus.
I have not with the tokens. Okay.
The red one.
Yeah, the red one. Okay. I'm terrible with remembering who's who. Yeah. He'll literally stagger his way on over. Just like dragging the axe on the floor.
Yeah.
It's just like
Beginning to
oh,
withdraw
God.
the familiar vial of demon blood or devil blood.
Okay, here we go. All right, let's do it.
It's Kobold, I believe.
Right. Cesaract is stunned. Gris, you're up next. There is a stunned kobold that has your arrow's names on it.
Yes, it does.
He's getting partial cover right now.
Yeah.
Can you hit AC 12?
So we're gonna do that, and I believe it's this. I'm still blessed, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like what, 10 rounds?
Oh, 4 damage. Let's go. That
Yeah, I think
kobold
it's
is
a minute.
looking super messed up. Rikus, my question is, can you bring it down?
We're gonna
This
find out.
poor little kobold just wanted to live its best kobold life, but its life cuts quite short.
Bring me
As
his
it's
head.
wavering, its eyes start to kind of go back to normal. You see it reach for its bow, and you plunge your sword deep into its chest where its little tiny heart beats its last beat, and it collapses to the ground, very dead. And that, my friends, is the end of Saseract. A quiet falls over the chamber after this fight, this screaming kobold who was screaming in broken common, so you all did understand it. The ghouls are smelling up the area, but you have all of these chests with all of this gold. What would you like to do?
So, all right, is Epicus actually saying, "Bring me his head"?
No, Epicus didn't say that.
Oh, who said that?
Yeah,
Gris.
Gris.
Gris. Well, if Gris wants his head, I'll bring Gris his head.
Bring me his head.
I
Yeah.
think as she begins to lean down to desecrate the corpse, Lucas is just
What?
going to put a hand on his shoulder. What on earth are you doing?
He asked for the head.
Seeing that the thing went down, Epicus is going to start calling for Lucas because he has one spell left and doesn't want to use the last reserves of magical energy to do what he has to do.
Okay, then I'll use channel positive energy just to give.
He might pass out.
There you go.
Well, we'll see if at the end of combat, we'll see if I. No, I'm still up. Okay.
So Rickus also feels that sort of golden radiance wash over him. If he wants the head, he can come get it for himself. I don't know what the purpose of that is. What? And he's just going to yell over to Gris. What do you want it for?
Toilet.
I'll find a use for it. I hate kobolds.
I'm
Fair enough.
beginning to understand how you feel. And I think Rikus is going to go over to not the ghoul corpse in the Letterman jacket, but the other ghoul corpse, and see if he can find any identifier that could maybe prove that this is
A family ring of a certain noble family that may or may not be
Alright.
looking for her missing, presumably dead husband.
We'll just go ahead and pop that off.
Mhm. Unfortunate.
Off comes a desiccated finger.
Yeah, I was just say just break the finger off and pull it off. It'll be easier.
Gross.
That's
Now, on this kobold, you guys find a small-sized masterwork shortbow, as well as 25 gold, 10 platinum, and 3 potions of cure moderate wounds.
Ooh,
This kobold was
loaded.
loaded. Now, as you all are gathering around, you notice there are some unworked chambers that lead a little bit farther to the north, and
You
Go
gave us money numbers, but you didn't put them down.
oh,
I wasn't tracking.
Of course, you got 25 gold.
25 gold, 10 platinum.
Yep, perfect.
Thank you.
Oh, I see. So this is where they came in.
The passageway. Knowledge engineering in these passageways to the north, which I will
All right.
show all the friends at home as well. I'll clear out this turn tracker.
Not great.
Oh yeah. Roll mine just for giggles.
Yeah. Do better than me.
What? What is? I don't have blood rich.
It's uncertain, but the cave-in seems like it might have been man-made, but you can't quite determine. It could have been natural, but there's some movement around in this under cave that you can see lots of kobold tracks. And as you travel farther north, up towards this area, all the way up at the top here, right up at the top there, that cave has just a multitude of kobold tracks coming in and out. And you can hear from very far down the distant sloshing of water and the sound of more kobolds. They are a ways off. It is distant and echoing down, likely hundreds of feet down these small caverns.
It's
We did our job.
yes. Yes, I say we go back up top, seal the magical hatch, and report on what we found. Then we take it from there.
Well, we're gonna have to collect our booty too. There's about 500 pounds of coinage here.
Sorry.
Can we lift are the chests like fixed in place, or can we move them?
They're not fixed in place. You can lift them up and carry them out if you so choose.
It'll take a few trips, but just have to be careful in that hallway with the sludge.
I mean, if we just have the time to do it, Calgadir can medium 466 and heavy 700.
Oh yeah, you guys can
so-
carry out those chests. It would take you some time, likely several hours, to get everything out safely and securedly. But you're able to remove everything from the area, returning back to the quaint.
I did walk over and take the kobold's head.
Good,
you
man.
have a kobold head. You may add that to your inventory.
That's a hell of a conversation piece.
Disgusting as it is.
Yeah.
And you know what?
There's mild purpose to
The ranger
why
has now become a witcher, is what we've learned.
Oh lord.
We're taking those torches on the way out as well.
Just to take everything that's not nailed down.
Are the torches? What?
The torches or braziers in the torture room where the raven was. You
Magic ones.
Oh, were they special?
mentioned-
The
Yes.
torture implements. I thought you meant
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking torture or torches.
No,
Yeah,
I heard
Yeah,
torches.
I heard that the first time. I had to.
Yeah.
torture.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got those.
torture
Hey.
implements. Okay.
I am, if nothing, a thorough loot master. Don't worry.
This is why my divinity playthrough takes forever. I steal everything.
I still need a value on that torn silk and leather robe I'm gonna mending together. By the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody will
that
buy
is
this shit.
valued at 1,000 gold.
Oh,
It's a
You gotta
nice
keep that for
robe.
yourself. You gotta just mend it
In
and keep it for
fact,
yourself.
if you get it magically mended, it functions as a +1 cloak of resistance.
That's nice.
does anyone mind if I keep that? That's screaming my
No.
name.
No,
that's
fine,
that.
do it.
I feel like that's tailor made for you.
You exit out, and there is a small perimeter that has been set up around the ruins. And the town guard, the gentleman, this Hod gentleman, is waiting for you all as you come out. And he seems like half asleep. He's like got a little like chair out there, like a wooden stool. There's a little table that they've set up. You can see he was playing cards with some other guards, and he's like dozing off. And as you all stumble out partway through this day with your chests in hand, your non-ill-gotten gains. These were healthily gotten.
This is
legitimate
salvage.
salvage.
This is legitimate salvage.
Yes. He stirs awake.
Epicus would request we also recover the body of the nobleman just to make.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have
I-
proof, but I imagine she wants
I
burial.
don't think she. I mean,
We
do
should
you really
want to
drag a
the
ghoul?
top.
Do you want to drag a ghoul corpse out into town?
We could put it in one of the
I-
chests. It's probably a negligible amount of weight.
I say drag it closer to the top. If she wants it, she can grab it. Have one of
Yeah.
the sheriffs going after it.
Yeah, bring it at least outside of the tower and like leave it like somewhere hidden, so that way obviously it doesn't be like,
That-
oh, that's a ghoul.
Yeah,
That's
they can
also
come and
proof of,
they can come
that's
and
also
cover
proof
it.
of the necromancy.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it work there?
Right.
Oh,
Well,
Let's do
oh,
it.
you're all still alive. That's surprising.
yeah.
And good, I guess. Did you kill the kobolds?
About a dozen
Yeah.
of
The
them.
kobold's head.
This gentleman, he does his best not to throw up in this moment. He does his best to not throw up and doesn't do a very good job. He ends up actually throwing up a little bit in this moment because
Oh, come on. I got bit by
Yeah,
worse than
that's
that.
gross. And
I
he
got
loses
bit
lunch.
by worse than that.
I got bit by a bunch of them.
The mayor she's waiting for you in her manor down the road, Green Hill Road. to
Could
the
you
south.
could you, when you stop throwing up like a bitch, could you be useful and get me a cleric? I require healing. He looks like shit.
Of course. Of course.
I think Frankus will point at Lucas and laugh.
He's gonna run off.
Have you found something to be inadequate about the services I've rendered to you? Kelvin?
No, they're fine. It's just every time you help me, something else decided to fuck me up.
That's hardly my fault.
It's
He
not your
says.
fault. I'm not blaming you at all.
I think
he's
what he's
gonna
saying is you're
channel
just
positive
you're
energy.
you're not
you,
giving him enough.
well, no, you've
Yeah.
to him like
Golden
I mean,
energy flows over the group for an extra 3 health.
Well, you've healed him like 3 times, so he's like, okay, he's spent. So he's like, I need another one. You know, like he's not blaming you. He's like, he knows that you have a limit.
Now that we're out of the dungeon, Lucas is spent. I'm gonna tap him with the infernal healing.
I'm sure. I mean, he'll heal up, but it's just he comes out of there with 3 whole hit points. He's like, oh god.
Well, I just mean if we're done with, we're out, we're safe. There's no reason not to expend resources.
Yeah, I got it. Because like he's been healed up and then beaten the shit out of. Healed up, he's just like, I'm good. I'm good. It's like he just doesn't.
Yep.
And then the kobold raid happens, and we're
Beat me a 4th time.
Yeah.
And then the fire kobolds attacked, but we digress.
Yeah. The fire kobolds attacked. I understood that reference.
So you have a moment to gather yourselves. You have this massive pile of loot, and really, you have some choices. You could head back to the inn. You could relax. You could go and meet with the mayor right away.
Meet with the mayor first and get our actual reward for this job.
Yes, let's actually get paid, and then we can chill afterwards. But it's like we just finish it. We're here.
Quick. What if the mayor's going to try to take everything that we just pulled from the tower?
Well, she can fuck right off is what she can do.
I don't think that she will, but if she rise, I don't think Calgadir is going to let that happen from the sound of that statement.
It was legitimate salvage. We fought for it.
I agree.
I want to make sure everyone noticed they did find the keys to Hunclay's Manor as well.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Oh,
I just want to make sure
I didn't see that at all.
I posted that in the chat. You found the keys on his body to his manor. All right.
Oh,
who is going to meet with the Baroness?
It's,
I'll go.
Yeah.
I will.
If some of you want to bring the treasure to the inn.
Yeah, I think we should. We won't lie about it. We just won't disclose unless it's relevant.
Well, I think that's called hedging our bets.
There's a Bank of Abadar in town. I think I saw it on the way in.
Yeah, the House of Abadar. It does exist.
All right. Then who's the second strongest?
Probably
the Ranger, right?
Yeah.
Is there still a crowd of townsfolk out here? Does anyone come back?
No, they all dissipated when they saw you.
They
figured you were dead. They figured you were dead.
Right. Then yeah, what you guys could go talk to her. We could secure our loot. You know, I mean, it's whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah.
And make sure that they tell everybody in town that our credit's good.
Our credits.
I'll actually assist with the loot rather than going to meet with the mayor. So that's fine.
Yeah. I'll go meet with the mayor.
So
and can I pull everyone to the side? And,
yeah.
So after we're done dropping this off, and you're done talking to the noble, do we want to check out Hunclay's manor now that we have the key, or?
I'm pretty sure Epicus would like to take a look.
Absolutely. Oh, did Hunclay have a spell book on him?
Surprisingly, he didn't. He seemed
Perhaps
to
he
be
left
there
it at
with
home.
nothing.
If Calgadir can make a suggestion, and I will, because I just am. You do that, so we secure the thing. We go back to the inn for a wee bit of rest and food, and then we go check out the manor.
Who's taking the stuff to the House of Abadar?
Me and Calgadir.
Okay, and Epicus will hand over his little note page. Make sure it aligns roughly with that. I didn't do an accurate count, but make sure they don't stiff us.
Calgadir can just straight up lift these massive ass chests like by himself.
I love it.
He's strong enough.
It's a bit comical in my mind to see that happen, but yes, that is doable by rules.
Well, or if there's 2 of them, like I imagine, like he's got like one end and
one
then
over each
arm.
The
other 2 have the other. No, I can do one at a time. But
beautiful. So Rikus, you were heading off by yourself back to the manor. To the manor.
If they're dealing with the stuff, Epicus would come with him.
Excellent.
Yeah, Epicus would probably be good.
Fine. Send the personable people.
So Rikus, as you both travel down the road, are you walking in silence? Are you conversing? What's the situation?
Yeah.
What was that? A necromancer amongst the kobolds?
I have no idea, but I think we did okay.
I think so, actually. No one died. Several of them did. And confronted magical threats I wouldn't have expected to find in such tower.
It's the logic of it that confuses me. Why but I suppose that's why I'm not a wizard. I use logic.
Some of us manage to sometimes.
Well, maybe
otherwise it's otherworldly power.
Well, then I'll just say present company accepted. Ugh.
The necromancer is what concerns me most. I don't. The kobolds are one thing; they're a natural threat, but among them, there's a spellcaster, some power that can create a ghoul.
What does that take?
Significantly beyond my abilities.
Okay, so something to worry about.
I think Hunkley might have been able to manage, but given that he's one of them,
Well, clearly not.
yes, something to talk about with the mayor.
I'll leave that part to you.
As you arrive at the mayor's estate, there is just a guard guarding the door. He looks at you and also looks surprised to see you alive. Oh, we were told that you were dead. Good to see you all alive. The mayor's expecting, well, not expecting you. She thought you would. Let me get her. He goes inside. A few moments later, he steps back out and he says, the mayor will see you in her dining room. You're welcomed inside. For a manor, for a noble's manor, it's not as ostentatious as you might think. It's practical. It has nice rugs, fineries, artwork on the wall, beautiful furniture, but it's not ostentatious by any means. And sitting in the dining area, it's a large dining table, sits at up to 12. 2 different seats at the edge. You've got 5 chairs on either side. She is sitting at one of the sides and has a glass of wine in front of her, a bottle, a couple of other glasses, says, please sit. I wish to hear of your adventures when you didn't return last evening. We feared the worst, but I see you have survived and mostly unscathed as well.
I'm just kind of a little bit shell-shocked and, just kind of ticks off his fingers well after the tower rubble and the first 4 giant centipedes and the first 6 kobolds and the flaming skeleton.
Don't forget the ghosts.
The ghosts, the lightning elemental, the second haunt.
Right.
The first Iron Maid. We had to take a nap.
Of course, I find your stories hard to believe, but myself and all of Belhaim, you have our eternal gratitude for what you have done. And as promised, here is your payment. And she has a large sack of gold that klingles with 2,500 gold pieces, 500 for each of you, onto the table.
And I have something for you. And Rikus will reach into one of his pockets and just sort of place the ring on the table.
She does not immediately go for it, but she stares at it for a long time, her expression somewhat solemn. Was there a body?
Yes.
You may not like the state that it's in.
But he is dead.
Yes.
And undead.
Though there was a small part of me that hoped you would find him alive, perhaps trapped by these kobolds, She very delicately reaches for the ring. Her hand hovers just ever so slightly over it, and she does not take it, but she retracts it back. I realize you have just been through an ordeal. But these kobolds, for many years they have lived somewhat alongside us without trouble. If we did not bother them, they would not bother us. But after this attack, this apparent incursion into our city, And now she finally reaches out and grabs the ring, kind of bringing it close. She holds it tight in her left hand. I wonder if you and your compatriots might like to earn a fair bit more gold.
And what the job is, I suppose.
Driving these kobolds from our land for good.
That's a tall order.
With a taller payment, I would be willing to pay each of you the sum of 1,200 gold to see the job done.
I have a necromancer of some power down there, able to raise a ghoul.
All the more reason to see them driven from our lands. You've proven yourself capable, and I will not force this upon you, but you have seen our town. We are simple folk. Farmers, woodsmiths, dyers, stable boys. You And she looks to Rikus. There's a kind of this like in almost like a little bit of an impressed look on her face. She says, You seem to be the adventuring type.
I'm getting accustomed to it.
I do not need an answer this moment. I'm sure you all wish to rest, but in the morning, please seek me out. If you discuss with your party and decide that it's something you wish to undertake, I will see that you are paid fairly and given room and stay here for as long as the job takes.
If we accept, I'd make one request.
Please.
Hunklay's dead. We'd like the deed to his inn, or to his manor.
She hesitates.
He'd produce the scrap of cloth, obviously, to prove it. As far as I'm working,
I will
no
need
next
to
of kin.
speak with the city council on this matter. Likely, since he is dead, his estate falls into probate. And the way that it is done here in Belhaim is once a property falls into probate, its items are retrieved and then placed on city auction. A wizard of his power would likely have much that could be sold and then reinvested back into our city. But I will
Much
speak
that
with
could be
them.
used to drive off the kobolds as well, at least for me.
It will take time, but I will discuss it with them.
Understood.
And you guys have your 2,500 gold, and the two of you run off to have your own adventures, leaving the other three to complete this Dragon's Demand adventure with your 2,500 gold. Just kidding. But we pivot back over to the group. You have dropped your gold off at your platinum and copper off at the Bank of Abadar, the House of Abadar. No issues. Pretty standard bank. You have a slip, deposit slip, etc. And after this dropping off of your gold, there's a kind of an old bearded dwarf with a little curly beard, and he's got lots of gold fringe and a big holy symbol of Abadar around his neck, and he's a little gruff, but generally like customer service pleasant. Like he doesn't want to be, but he's got to put on a smile. But where would you all head off to after this?
Kagator wanted to go back to the inn that we were staying at and get just whatever, like just food, lots of it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The best, whatever.
Yeah. You got gold to pay for it now. You absolutely can.
Yeah.
So
Plus,
Calvadir,
he's going to pay back our generosity.
you can
'cause
head
that's how he's
back to
gonna
the
be
Wise
this.
Piper. That's perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chris, what about you?
Oh, I think Gris wants to know what happened with the mayor, so I think he's going to try and meet up with Epicus and Rikus.
What about Lucas? What do you do?
I think that Lucas would join Kelgadir at the inn.
I mean, Kagadir was assuming that after everybody done their business, we would head back to meet back up at the inn, regroup, eat, whatever.
I would ask you to. I'd give you some gold and ask her to pay for my meal as well.
Oh yeah, no, he's just getting like a table. He's like, give me one of everything you have. Like he's
Beautiful.
just.
I love
right.
that. So you arrive back at the inn where you meet
One
yes,
moment.
Yes, please, sir.
I'd like to make a slightly meta decision here, based on your answer.
Okay.
Is the Hunkley Manor part of the adventure? Can I go there and liberate a certain book and writing supplies before the sheriff show up to repossess things with my keys, or should I wait for the party to?
You can do whatever your heart desires.
Okay, Epicus is going to go liberate those things. I just want to make sure I'm not jumping to the next stage of the adventure.
With the caveat that it's a paranoid wizard's manor. You may not want to do that. That's all I'm saying. The guy touched that door and got shocked. But I will not stop you, Epicus.
That you know that's fair. Epicus doesn't have spells right now. He has detect magic, and that's about it. I'll wait for tomorrow.
All I know is that he was a paranoid wizard.
Yeah.
Who he was a recluse and he didn't talk to people. And when people showed up, they got turned different colors and
I'm just
sometimes lit
surprised-
on fire.
I'm just surprised it's not surrounded by landmines. Really, I mean.
But again, you
I
can
could
do
prob-
whatever you want.
You know what? Even if I did have spells, my only my only tool for going through this would be detect magic. I don't have dispel or anything. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
As you arrive back in the inn, Lucas, you arrive a few moments afterwards.
Excuse me.
Calgadir does move faster than you, even faster when he's hungry, I assume.
Well, if they're coming with me, I'm not gonna like just ditch them. But
I really wanted you to ditch him. I thought that would be
Oh,
fun.
okay.
Really fast.
I'd
well,
love-
as soon
You can
as
do
they started talking to the bank, he's like, food, and then
Yeah.
he
Bolts
turns around
off.
180s and just leaves.
So you part with Gris. You're given a little bit of time to travel back. A couple of townsfolk, they're kind of starting to wrap up their days. It's getting into the late afternoon, and they see you, and a couple of them seem to recognize you, Lucas. And they're like, "Oh, how did it go? What did you discover down there? Were the kobolds? What happened?"
As he's going along, before that even happens, as he notices those people, thinking back to what he saw last session
Mhm.
when the crowd had gathered, and for a moment it was almost like he perceived kobolds among them.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually examine them and their behaviors as they are going about their days.
Sense
Is there
motive.
something bizarre about them, or
Sense motive.
because he is now completely suspicious of these people?
I love it.
Sorry.
Yes, you can sell the daggers and such without issue for half price.
Copy.
So they're a small town, and small townsfolk can often be a little odd. They're a little bit insular. They're not really interacting with the larger places. Like, you come from a huge city, Cantargo. That city is enormous. It's big. It's really big. This city is like not even 1/10 of that city. It's probably like 1/100th. That's how small this little quaint town is. They're just weird people. But, they're probably not kobolds in disguise. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
No.
I'm from small town Alabama. I can imagine.
No.
And how about perception in terms of
Absolutely.
perhaps not
Go ahead and
necessarily their
perception check.
motives, but anything about scales popping out,
Go for
or like maybe the Innsmouth look, as it were?
In Smith, look. Oh god.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You don't see any scales or anything, but as you are, I guess, maybe just watching people somewhat oddly, you round a corner by Belhaim's schoolhouse, and as you round the corner, stepping out with a large crate of meat that she's just purchased from Akil's Meats for her bar, her tavern, you run into none other than the tavern owner, Talia. And you bump into her. She goes to spill her meats. I need you to roll a reflex save to see if you can catch the crate of meat that she was carrying.
Oh, that's not going to end well for me.
So excited. DC 10.
Reflex.
Oh, the meat! Everything. The container goes sprawling all over the dirt road. Everything goes wild. She falls. You fall. You both kind of get a little tangled up, and she ends up on top of you. You're below her, and she's like, "Oh dear. My sorry.
No.
My bad. No, it was
No.
my mistake. No, it was on me.
Not at
I'm
all.
sorry. I didn't see you. I was walking. I should have been paying more." And she quickly gets
No,
off,
it's the armor.
dusting
It's just
herself
stumbling.
off. She goes to start picking up the meat, blowing on it, trying to get half of it appears to be ruined. And
you wash it
she's,
off.
she's so sorry. It's my fault. I didn't see you there. And in this moment, Lucas, as you are going back and forth, her hair that she is covering her ears, you notice that her ears are slightly pointed, just like yours. Just like yours. But she quickly realizes that you're staring at them for a moment and then covers them back up. But then goes to start picking up her meats.
And he's actually just going to put a hand to her forearm as she is picking up one of the pieces of meat. We've recently come into some funds. I will repay you for the loss of these goods.
No, it's fine. It's not necessary. I'm sorry. She shivers slightly at the touch, almost as though she's nervous.
He withdraws. My apologies.
No, it's fine. I just may I ask you something? It's a bit personal. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I just
Of course, whatever it might be.
Are you a half elf?
And he just sort of like scratches behind his ear. What gave me away?
Slightly pointed ears, your bit angular features. Did you know your father? Or was it your mother's side?
It was my mother's side. From what my father tells me, she just left me with him.
She looks very solemn. I didn't know either of my parents. Apparently they left me. And, well. Sorry, I must be going. And she quickly turns on her heel, not even stopping for a moment unless you do choose to stop her, but she quickly makes her way back towards the Wise Piper.
No, I think what he's going to do is actually go into that shop and inquire as to the order that she just placed and have it replaced.
There's a human male. Looks like just a classic butcher, big beard. Welcome to Elkai's Mates. How can I help you? And you're able to interact with him and probably like reorder what she just got, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's weird. I just filled out this order for the inn.
Well, yes, I know. We've been imposing on her for some time, and I feel like it would be. It's only fair for us to recompense her for her kindness.
You know, they say mean things about city folk. You ain't so bad. You know what? Only charge you 75% of what it normally costs. And it's only going to be 10 gold total, but it'll only be 7.5 gold for you. So it's not terrible. Yeah. And then what will have happen if you guys don't have any other scenes prior to this? I'd like you all to be congregating back at the inn at this giant table that Kelgadir got set up for you. So you guys can have kind of our final scene here is you discussing how you'd like to proceed. So unless anyone else has other conversations they'd like to have prior to returning, I know Gris was going to meet everybody in the road. I don't know if you guys want to just wait to have the conversation until you get back. It's entirely up to you guys.
We just have conversation over dinner, lunch, or whatever time it is.
Perfect. All right. So you return and you have a feast fit for kings. You have brisket, not dry, not crunchy. It's good brisket. You have steaks, you have burgers, you have all manner of delicious, delicious foods like you haven't eaten in maybe your whole lives.
Schnitzel.
You have some schnitzel, some sauerkraut. It's delicious. But you guys are halfway through dinner. You've had a time to fill your bellies, to warm them with good, delicious mead, to fill that thirst, quench that thirst. Who is the first to bring up this offer from the mayor?
Well, we don't know about it, so
Yeah.
I think as as the meal goes on, Rikus will just produce the sack of gold and just set it down on the table and say, that's our payment for the tower job.
how much was it?
500 gold apiece, but I already had it included in the loot split.
Okay. I got you.
There's apparently more where that came from.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Come on, spit it out. Let's have it.
We got the job done.
They want us to push the kobolds farther away from this town so they don't bother them again.
If it's just kobolds.
Well, it's at least one of them, as Epicus stated, has the ability to make undead. So that's in itself would be a bit of a problem.
I don't have issue with pushing the kobolds away. I have issue with our ability to do so feasibly.
Yes, usually we're essentially talking about starting a guerrilla war. We don't know how many there are, how deep they are, what allies they might have. When he says allies, he looks at everybody. He's like, kobolds, can run into some other stuff. So other winged things, possibly, this whole thing.
GM, how much money were they offering for this?
1,200 apiece.
That's what we're doing.
Yes, it would be 1,200 apiece they're offering.
Double down.
Which is essentially what we got. Yeah. Plus, I'm assuming loot rights, standard adventurer loot rights.
Oh yeah.
So
you should have seen Epicus. He asked for the deed to the wizard's house.
Or of course, wizards like to take other wizards' shit. That's how that works.
Epicus smiles, and they considered giving it to us.
They considered it. They didn't just give it to you.
She's going to go talk to the council.
Just probate or something.
Just imagine how lucrative that building must be for this town.
Yes. I can
As we've
imagine.
already established, royals just appropriate everything for themselves.
Yes.
So, of course, they're not going to give it to you, Epicus.
Epicus shrugs and says, I only want a book or two out of it.
I mean, if they could give us something to help him, and then he can thereby help us and keep us from dying. I mean,
Maybe some inks, some parchment. Special parchment, obviously.
How did she react to her husband being dead?
Oh,
Because it didn't take you guys that long. I would have assumed that would have broken her down.
well, I mean, he'd been
Exactly
missing.
break.
He'd been missing for 6 months. She knew he was dead. She just needed to know he was dead.
she's probably already accepted it by this point. Or come to terms with it, perhaps.
It's on the subject of reactions that I would like to speak with you, gentlemen. This may have just been the stress of the situation, but you should be aware that when we first entered the tower, I thought I saw something strange amongst the townfolk, and he's just going to lower his voice slightly. As impossible as it may be to believe, I saw kobolds amongst them. Now, that's not possible, but there's something strange about this town. The exorbitant wealth that it has, or at least the royals, presence of the wizard, this tower. There's more here than we've seen. There's also a reason the kobolds are here.
Saw
Yeah,
kobolds amongst townfolk and they weren't reacting to them?
Well, they didn't. The one with the bow say that we were ruining his plans.
And the wizard had dealings with them. There's a reason he didn't go down there with his spellbook, if that's what happened.
Or they took it from him?
Deal gone bad, perhaps?
Never
Well, they-
saw a reason to deal with kobolds.
Oi! Hoi! You lot! Hoi! It's the
Yes.
Man with the drink. You adventurers for hire?
Depends who's asking.
Not at this moment.
Oh,
We haven't taken the job yet.
all right.
Might as well consider other alternatives.
Would you like a lamb shake?
Right.
Uh,
No, I'm all
I
right.
I say ours. I do apologize. I don't have anywhere to be. And the man I came here to meet is dead.
Right.
And adventuring does appear to be quite profitable. So,
There's
anyone with me?
a job I might be able to offer you.
What is it?
There's a pack of wolves been attacking livestock. A couple hundred gold in it for you if you want to take care of them.
Couple hundred gold for wolves.
Eh?
You mean each?
What's the part you're not telling us?
No, just total.
No one offers that much coin to kill some wolves. Come on, what is
Not for wolves.
It's
So
a big
what
wolf.
are you?
It's like double the size of a normal wolf.
Hmm.
I think it's called a borg, a florg, something like that.
Org.
Wolf.
That's the one. Warg. Yeah.
You're going to pay us to track a wolf.
Well, I'm not going to pay you. The council will. They got the wanted posters outside of the town hall.
Well, I say we
Leave.
take a day or two and we think about the mayor's offer, and we could go if it handle this in the meantime, perhaps. I mean, it's
I mean, as I was alluding to, I think I might go professional, as they say.
I got nothing else to do. I kill shit, I smith things. That's about it. So if the group wants to do it, I'm down for killing it.
Right.
Where was it last seen?
It's outside in the town,
No.
in the Dragon Fend.
You're going to need to be a little bit more helpful.
Well, I don't go out there. There's a giant wolf eating people. I don't want to mess
Who
with
put
that.
out? Who put out? You said the council. Do they
It's
have
the council.
Okay, we should talk to them. He's looking at the rangers. We should probably talk to them.
Yeah.
We need to get information if we're hunting a warg. I don't want to go into
It's
this.
past the flooded quarry out near the old quarry road. That's where they last saw it.
That's
Over by the tower.
if I had to guess, that would be into kobold territory as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the kobolds live out by the flooded quarry. That's right.
Well, I think we can look into it.
Wouldn't
at the
go
very least.
there though. There's lots of kobolds probably eat you.
Right.
It'll be the
Well,
worst
we
thing is trying to eat me today.
We should probably sleep on it.
Steak's
Oh,
good.
definitely.
That's right.
I'm not doing shit today except eating this.
I'm gonna eat that lamb shank right there.
You can have it. It's
Alright,
fine.
He's gonna like come over and take a piece and
There's just like
kind of
almost an
awkwardly,
entire lamb.
kind of awkwardly stands by you guys like he wants to be a part of the group, but as you all turn
That's it.
back into each other, he just wanders off.
Okay, that's fine.
And Epicus is going to go back to the kobold thing.
Yeah.
And you said the townsfolk weren't reacting to the kobold?
No, they treated it like it was one of them, just as if it was an everyday occurrence.
Epicus narrows his eyes and says, that
Well,
could
they
be
didn't-
illusion magic.
Well, okay. Just say she did say that they were kind of living as long
Well,
as
I
they
think
didn't
it
fuck
was
with
a-
each other. But
Yeah, like a mutual ignorance of one another.
yeah, don't fuck with us. We won't fuck with you. Don't start shit. Won't be shit.
Hmm.
It's not
You think-
inconceivable they would have had maybe done some treat at some point or something.
Well, there's that, but
Could they have been giving tribute to keep the kobolds away? Do you think?
what I don't like is the presence of a spellcaster powerful enough to raise a ghoul, and the presence of a potentially a spellcaster powerful enough to disguise a kobold to walk among humankind without being noticed. Granted, that's just a theory right now, but we know the ghoul existed. We
Is
know
it-
the ghouls were there.
Is it at all possible that the wizard did some shit and somehow made it so that when he died to kobolds, it resurrected himself as a ghoul? Is that? I know a shaman that's about it. I'm just shooting in the
And-
dark here.
Unless Hunkley was absolutely insane, he wouldn't want to come back as an intelligent undead, especially not a ghoul. The eternal hunger, it would drive
He
it drives his
was
intelligent
a-
mind mad.
He was a wizard. But the insanity was implied.
Not necessarily. He smiles. He's taking it as a joke.
Yeah. Every wizard that he's met on his travels has been batshit insane, so he just assumed that it came with it. He assumes that's what comes with the territory.
Right now, I'm operating on the hypothesis that they have something of a powerful spellcaster down there, and I don't like that.
How for sure are you, Epicus, that we can get this house? Do you think we might need to win some friends with the council?
Perhaps dealing with the warg thing could get us some, what do they call them, brownie points, perhaps?
I think
Political
that might
capital.
help. I think the primary issue is going to be the time frame in which we do it. I think we need to win the friends before the debate happens, and I think they said they were talking to them tomorrow.
Okay, well, we get a night's rest and go ask Crack of Dawn and go check this thing out. Kill it, bring it back. Oh, look, big heroes, whatever. And they might, I mean, really, you just have to some shit inside, right? We don't give a fuck about the entire thing.
That's possible. Also, the man's dead. I don't care too much about going and liberating the thing I need.
He's dead. He doesn't have no use for it.
We have the keys to his manor.
If they want us to go kill these kobolds, we're going to take every advantage we can get. Fighting fair is fighting stupid. I don't care. I'd steal it all. I don't give a shit.
I don't want all of it. I just want the spell book and the
I'm
writing
just-
materials.
I'm
I
just
would-
saying.
I would want to take everything that we can get out of the mayor's hands and the council's hands, personally. So if you want to break into to abscond with some of the materials from the mansion,
What?
I would be.
What time is it? Daytime is it?
About 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay, so if we ate and like crashed right now, I got 8 hours of sleep. That'd be
4 a.m., 3 a.m.
All
something
right,
like
so
that.
we go Ocean's 11 at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and go get you some shit because you got keys, and just keep our mouths zipped about it.
That works for me.
If they want us to go, I mean, Calgary's like he fights. That's what he does. There's like any advantage you can get, just get it. Especially if we're seriously considering this whole kobold, like the wiping them out. Like we're gonna need everything. We got fucked up by just basic kobolds. Like we're gonna fight a lot of them. We need every bit of help we can get our hands on.
There's too much going on and not enough being told to us.
Yep.
And I do not like this.
Well, I think we should, we should.
All of a sudden we have a warg in kobold
Epicus?
territory.
Being paranoid is going to do a quick, subtle detect magic sweep of the in room.
Ah, yes. There's a couple of mundane magic items, maybe a ring of protection. One person has like a magic dagger, and as you're As your magic falls upon the innkeeper, you detect transmutation, enchantment, and illusion magic.
There goes me trying to sleep with her.
Of what order? Like how powerful?
All of them are about the same strength.
So, what we need to do.
I'm trying to figure out what information it actually gives me beyond school.
Yeah. We need a game plan before we do anything.
But
I assume, like,
seeing
we're
as, and I hate to cut us short, but we are getting to about 11 o'clock my time, 12 o'clock Aaron's time, and I love what's happening here, but I think we're going to have to state that we're going to just cut the scene here as you're all discussing all of the things that are going on. I think this is a great moment as you detect this magic. You notice that she is looking over at your table and she's locked her eyes on Lucas once again. And there's this kind of longingness in her eyes. And you would detect alter self. So the one where you can like look like somebody else.
Yep.
You detect a minor image. And then you would also detect a charisma bonus buff on her right now as well.
I see.
So, but with that, my friends, that is where we'll end today's session. And Aaron, I apologize. I know we were getting a little bit late here. I didn't even realize how late we had gone. I was just having a blast here. But yeah, well, some of us do have work in the morning. We all do. So I get it. But no, guys, did you have fun? I hope you did.
Yeah, great time this
I
session.
thought this was a phenomenal session. Matthew, your second Pathfinder session. What are you thinking so far?
I think it's late. That's what I think.
Oh, such a weak ass answer. I'll take it. Well, I appreciate you giving it a shot, man.
Tell me about some XP.
Well, you want the good news or the bad news?
The
Bad news is you're
Not
level
level
2. Good news
Oh,
is you're level 2. Yeah, you're all level 2. You get 1,750 experience points. That does bring you to level 2. You also get an extra hero point for leveling up, which is always nice. You do get a maximum of 3, so if you cap out on 3, I encourage you to start using those. Absolutely. But I want to say thank you all for playing. I thought you guys were doing a fantastic job. I love the RP. I love the tactics. I love the fact that you thought I was going to steal the daggers from you and I didn't. As written, I'm supposed to take them, but I didn't want to give you the satisfaction, so there it is.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? There it is. There it is. As written, they're supposed to disappear into the floor, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. We're gonna keep them because I'm a
You said
benevolent game master.
1750 XP?
That is correct. 1750 XP. But
To be fair, they weren't that much money. They're like 300 gold a
it's
piece,
like
something
not
like that.
whatever. But
yeah.
as I always say at the end of every session, thank you to the players for playing. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. We had up to 15 viewers today, which was awesome. So I do appreciate the support. And happy gaming, everybody. You have a beautiful night. We'll catch you next time for session 3 next week of Dragon's Demand. Good times. Happy gaming, everybody. Cheers.